Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex, and we are here with the Watchalong of Melbourne Victory versus Manchester United. I'm joined this morning. Got Gaz here. How you doing, mate?
All good, my mate. All good.
And Dre, how you doing, pal?
Not too bad. How are you?
Not bad. Not bad. The team news is out, so let's get straight into that. A bit of a change from the last game. A few forced changes by the sounds of things. You've got Tom Heaton in goal. David De Gea isn't in the squad, so it looks like he's picked up a little bit of an injury. You've then got Delow, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. Maguire's the big change in that. Looks like Varane is out of this game. He's got picked up a bit of a knock. That's not surprising.
Shock. What a shot that is.
Fred and McTominay stay in midfield. Then you've got Sancho, Fernandes. Ilanga replaces Rashford. That looks like the only not forced change. And Anthony Martial. Gaz, do you make of that team then?
It's very recognisable again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quite strong, really, for a pre-season game. One thing that I would have liked to have seen is someone like Ethan Laird instead of Diogo Delow.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the manager will probably have Delow as either his starting right back or his backup right back if we bring in someone like Kyle Walker-Peters, which I'd love. But I'd like to see Ethan Laird give him more of a go, to be honest, and seeing him in this game would have been nice from the start. But look, they're probably going to make a load of changes after half an hour, aren't they? So
yeah, this team played most of them played 45 minutes. So I'm guessing I think they're going to rotate a bit more now. I think against Melbourne Victory, I think there's a bit of it. Don't get embarrassed by Liverpool as well. After the performances last year, I think we wanted to start on the front foot and go for it a little bit. And this team was that. I think, like you said there, I think there's maybe more rotation today. I'm hoping to see Ethan Laird. Dre, who stands out there? Who's the one you're a bit shocked to see?
Who stands out? It's nice to see Tom Heaton in there, to be honest. But like Gaz, you said, that's quite a recognisable team. Obviously, Martial wasn't there last season, but other than that, we've seen these players play. But like, it's pre-season. Everyone's going to get on. Everyone's going to get some minutes. Doesn't really matter who's starting. But it'll be good to see if these lot can do a bit of the old Ten Hag ball. Well, get that ball passing around. Yeah, man.
The front three was at it, wasn't it, in the Liverpool game? And I kind of think that the weakest of the three was probably Rashford.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how Ilanga does. Well, mainly with Martial, because we've not seen Martial with these players in. You know, if you get an invigorated Martial, then you never know what you're going to get. But
we had Abdul on the last watch on, and he said what you want to see with that team is that you're not changing like the profiles as much. I think with Ilanga and Rashford is near enough a straight swap in it. The same kind of play, people running in behind, really direct. Whereas if you put Ilanga instead of Jadon Sancho, which happened a lot last season, they're very different players. They're not. You know, you've got Ilanga wants to run in behind, Jadon Sancho wants to get on the ball. So it's good to see some kind of consistency with it all and it not changing around too much. But no, it's good to see that it looks like he's got a settled system, settled 11 already. We're going to get into who potentially will come into there now that we've, made a signing, kind of, been announced this morning. We've had the here we goes and all that kind of stuff. We'll get into that very shortly. But talk about the goalkeeper a little bit. We've got Tom Heaton in goal there. It looks like David De Gea picked up a little bit of an injury. Are you worried at all about goalkeeper? Because, I like Tom Heaton, but I don't want to see him as our number one going into the season.
No.
Do you?
No, I know. I agree with that. But I think he's a good number two.
Yeah.
I really do think he is, and I don't think De Gea is going to have a serious injury here. The thing is with David De Gea is I still have concerns about him, and I do think that last season he's one of the few that can hold his head up high. But we saw a lot of difference in that first game against Liverpool, the pre-season game where we saw him almost playing as a sweeper keeper. I think as a member of the squad come out today and said that.
Yeah,
he was playing.
I think it was Varane saying that the whole team is higher, including the goalkeeper, and that De Gea's already asked to do that, which is a big change because that's the big criticism of De Gea. That he stayed on his line. Then.
Yeah, and it's like if United want to be successful, like really, really successful, then we are going to need to adapt and be a bit more modern in the goalkeeping sense. Even though David De Gea isn't doing an awful lot wrong, he's just not doing an awful lot right either that he could be doing. No, the stuff that Alisson and Ederson do.
I agree.
That's what I'm talking about.
I agree with you.
So look, I think United, need to look at that in the future. But let's give De Gea a chance in terms of now he's actually got someone who's actually going to coach him to do that.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't want to patronise the last two managers too much, but maybe he's now actually got someone who's actually going to really get into it with him and teach him that sweeper keeper role. And let's see what he does.
Yeah, I think Jose wanted him to stay in his line. I don't think Jose was asking him to step out. And then Ollie, whether he kind of asked him to do that, I don't think there was ever going to be a chance of changing David De Gea. He was just happy with him. But yeah, then going through. Harry Maguire returns. Captain Harry Maguire confirmed captain as Harry
Leader
Maguire.
legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, I think in all fairness, like, give him a clean slate now. Obviously, he had a shocking season last season, and he got the stick for it. But we're going into a new season. Need to have a bit of positivity. And we do with this new manager and the way we played against Liverpool. So give him a clean slate. See, and the thing is with Maguire, he is not he's not going to be a defender that's going to take us back to winning titles. But he's a good player. He has shown at times in his career that he can be a good player.
Yeah.
Last season was a disaster for him. But let's just hope that he can get a bit of form back and just kind of do all right.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, I think we've all criticised him. And it's almost a bit of a joke now. But deep down, United fans want him to do well. Because Ten Hag's just said he's our captain. So I hope he does.
It was mad.
I hope he plays well.
The meltdown that happened on Twitter when Ten Hag had that announcement and came out and said that Harry Maguire is going to be captain for next season. People going, I can't believe you're doing this. I can't, straight away, he's still a good player. And, the talk of it all, if you just stripped him as captaincy straight away.
That would have been terrible for him, wouldn't it?
I've said that kills Harry Maguire's career almost. That's it. If you come in, a new manager who, you've made your big move to Manchester United and you get told, no, you're not captain anymore. That's it, done. I just think it maybe not kills his career, but you've got to do a lot to get back from that straight away. To go, you're not good enough to be captain. And if it's not a case of him stepping down or him saying, or someone else standing out, because again, I think the other problem is there isn't really a standout replacement captain. I think Ronaldo was tipped to be it, but obviously other stuff this summer, him not being there, has kind of said you can't do that. David De Gea, you've questioned there, is he the right man going forward? Will he be there long term? Bruno, people have questioned, whether he's a bit petulant and all that kind of stuff. There isn't a standout, just give him the armband. So I think that, if you'd have taken that off him, I just think it really would knock him. And I think unless you are planning on not playing him a lot, if you've gone, we will talk about Martinez in a minute, go Martinez and Varane, Martinez and Lindelof, they're my first two choices, then I think you really could kill his season at least of the confidence you'd have on Maguire for this season.
I just think that if that's the case, then you can never change the captain. Because it's worse, surely, after a year of Ten Hag for him to do it then. And have Harry Maguire for a year and then all of a sudden strip him off it. Yeah. When he's first coming into the club, brand new manager, I think it should be understandable to any professional that he has his idea of what a captain should be. Mm-hmm. Different managers are going to have a different idea of that. It was actually Ollie who had the idea, give Maguire the captaincy. I think if you're ever going to do it, this summer would have been the perfect time to do it. And now I think the fact that it's not happened would suggest that Harry Maguire is probably going to be the United captain for as long as he's at Man United. No, I know that sounds mad, but it's true, because how are they ever going to take it off him without actually getting rid of him and selling him? I can't think of a way to do it.
Yeah, well, I think if there was a standout character, it would have been done. Do you reckon if Ronaldo had committed his future, he'd be made captain? Yeah. Do you reckon he'd have come out the other day and said, Ronaldo's our new captain?
Yeah, I think so. I think if he's on this pre-season tour, I think it's an easy one. And like you said, that if there was an easy fix to it, we'll just give it Cristiano Ronaldo. No one can argue with that. Even Harry Maguire would go, okay, giving it to one of the best players of all time. And in 12 months' time, I might get it back. If I'm in the team, I get it back. Yeah. But right now, I'm really not sure who you'd give it to. I said Bruno's potentially the one, but again, I think that his kind of attitude when things go wrong and how he kind of acts on the pitch, I like it at times. I like that he goes chasing down players, but I think as captain, you need a little bit of calm.
There's a difference between being a mad and being aggressive, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like Roy Keane was aggressive. Bruno's a bit of a mad sometimes, and if he can turn that into just like a bit of aggression, then we're good to see.
Go through some of the comments. Someone said here, I hope Rashford is captain in a few years. I think if Rashford had kicked on last year, I think he'd have definitely been, been in the question to do that. But I think with his form last year, you can't be doing that. A couple more questions. We've had someone. Where was it? Here. I think his name, Mr. Vegemite Lover, says, I'm at the game. Make sure you're checking out. We've got the lads are at the game. Adam McCullough, Jay Motti, Joe Smith, and producer Callum are in Australia. They're at the game today. So if you do check, I think they've been outside the stadium today, already doing chatting to some of you guys. So if you do spot them, take a picture, put it on Instagram, whatever. Get involved with that. People asking where's Garner. Doesn't look like Jimmy Garner's in the team. Bit disappointed with that because, again, showed so much with last year with Nottingham Forest, not seen him yet.
Would have been nice to see, especially because United have 0 defensive midfielders. Would have been nice to see at least one of them.
Yeah.
But we'll get onto that with Martinez, I think, when we chat that.
Yes.
I've got some controversial opinions.
Let's talk.
In positioning.
Let's talk about Lisandro Martinez. This news broke this morning. Lisandro Martinez, as they got Here We Go. We've had all the stuff at the Athletic kind of confirm it that the deal is done. He's not there holding up a United shirt yet, but we know how long that kind of stuff can take, and United need all the branding stuff done before they put any official statements out. But Lisandro Martinez, Ajax player of the season last year, played centre-back for the majority of the time. A ridiculously good player by the looks of things. What do we think of him coming into Manchester United?
He's a 5'7" centre back, and I understand that that's becoming now a late, like genuinely, like just I don't know if you can see this on the whole stream, but I'm standing up. I am not a tall man. I'm about 5'10". I am not tall enough to play centre half in the Premier League. I'm definitely not good enough either. So look, my theory is that he's not going to do that. I know it seems like a lazy argument at this point, the height thing, but I do think it has an effect. And I do know people will comment that when he played against Núñez, when he played against Haaland, he pocketed them, and that's fair enough. But I genuinely think he's going to be pushed forward and played as a defensive midfielder here. And you'll have him playing alongside someone like Frenkie de Jong. And I think if that works, that could be absolutely brilliant. It would have the best of both worlds, everything that you need in the midfield.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying he's 5'9", giving him a little
bit
to defend.
5'9",
but even still, I'm not joking. I'm 5'9", and I'm not nowhere near centre. I couldn't do centre back for a Sunday League team. Never mind for Manchester United. I completely agree with that.
I googled it yesterday, and you said he was 5'7.5", so I'm an inch and a half off. But that's still nowhere near tall enough.
That's how far I am off 6 foot, so I just round it up.
Same. Yeah, I just
round it up. I round it up.
What do you reckon then? What do you think? Because I'm on the same agreement with Gaz. I think that he's going to play midfield more. I think in Europa League, I think in certain games, you could see him playing maybe at left back, and he can be, Ten Hag likes this where he has one full back really sitting back and one pushing up. I think you might see that, but I think you'll see him maybe at centre back in Europa League where he can put someone against if he's not worried about any aerial presence. But he's not playing against Newcastle against Chris Wood, is it? That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
See, this is the thing. I think if he does come in and he is a centre back and he plays centre back, it might take him time to adapt. And people need to accept that. He might not hit the ground running, especially doing it in Holland as well. Yeah. Coming to, like you said, playing against Chris Wood and stuff, playing against Haaland, do you know what I mean? But I'm just interested to see. I just think it's a weird season because no one's really buzzing until recently because of how bad last season was. It's like the summer before, we'd finished third and we made these signings, Ronaldo, Sancho, Varane, and it was like, oh my God, we might challenge this year. And it went to absolute. We all know how it went.
Yeah.
So this summer's a bit weird. So all these signings, I'm just a bit optimistic about them, interested rather than like, oh my God, this guy might take us from here to here. So like Martinez, for example, I like this conversation. I like that we don't know where he's going to play. It's a bit different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. He might do a bit of both. He might be a bit like Daley Blind.
Yeah. So speaking of Daley Blind, Martinez last year, Martinez made 13.4 passes to final third per 90 in the league last season. Only Daley Blind and Trent Alexander-Arnold were the defenders in Europe's top 7 leagues that average more. So he's this very progressive centre back, good on the ball. He does 3.13 tackles per 90 in the top in 99th percentile, so top of that game. Aerials won 2.90, so again 23rd percentile. That's where he's low down. There's loads of people saying he wins loads of headers. There's stats to back that up. But he's doing it in Holland. That's not. You've already had Mullenstein talk about just different football.
Worth pointing out that the tallest people in the world
they are the tallest people in the world.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's not the same football. It's not the football where they're pinging it over.
Apart from Daley Blind.
Apart from Daley Blind.
Yeah, he's just gorgeous.
Yap Stam though.
It's very different
Dyke.
football. It's very, very different football. It's not. You're not going to have a lot of balls over the top. And whilst he wins a good percentage of the balls there, it's not going to be the same kind of thing. And you're right. I think I see him in midfield. I think that we've seen Fred and McTominay play in these 2 games. He likes these 2 sixes. He likes people that would be dropping deep. And I think Martinez fits that straight away. And if this talk about Frenkie de Jong comes in, if he is the one that's going to come in and be a partner in there, You want someone, you've got De Jong, who's very, very good on the ball, and then you've got Martinez next to him, who is ultra defensive, obviously going to sit back and kind of screen that back four.
Who is also brilliant on the ball. Though.
Yeah, who's brilliant on the ball. For me, that seems like a really good partnership. And I think I think everyone will be disappointed. I think the De Jong transfer changes everything, because at this moment in time, people are going, if Martinez plays in midfield, he's going to be alongside Fred and McTominay. That just doesn't, that doesn't fill anyone with confidence going forward. But it also might mean that he plays Donny van der Beek in there. He can trust him a bit more, because you can't play Fred and Donny van der Beek. It's never going to work, because neither of them are going to do it. But I do think it's going to. I think it's a good signing. And again, coming from Ten Hag worked with him last season. He's not going to sign someone he doesn't really fancy, is he?
Thing is that he's not. They're not going to sign a player to play centre defensive midfielder who's just had a whole season playing centre back.
I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just like, that's not sensible.
But,
do you know what I mean?
but the only thing that's making me think that might not be the case is the fact that Ten Hag was the man who managed him. So Ten Hag knows this guy inside and out, and probably knows that probably last season they had conversations if we need to play defensive midfield, which he has done.
It's like an option, isn't it? Because like say if De Jong comes in, you look at the midfield, right, and you say maybe then the best midfield would be Bruno in the 10, De Jong in the 6, and then either McTominay or Fred. I think that like having De Jong alongside one of McTominay and Fred will like free them up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Definitely Fred. Yeah, I just think like playing them together, they're a bit clueless together, and it's just a lot of running and a lot of but like if they're next to someone who's calm, knows what they're doing, can play with the ball, it kind of, I think we'll see a better Fred and McTominay. Personally, that's what I think.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
I mean, Fred
or Garner can step in or whatever. There's options, or Martinez can step in. It's just options, isn't it? I think that's important when Ten Hag's starting this kind of rebuild and implementing his system. He doesn't know. He's not going to know after 4-5 games on tour what the best 11 is. No. So having a player like Martinez is brilliant. It just gives you the option.
What type of midfielder do you actually think Scott McTominay is? Because I go to and fro on this one. I kind of think that he's a box to box.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see Scott McTominay getting forward a little bit more. And I know that sounds weird because he played defence for Scotland and stuff, and always played defensive midfield for us. But that's where I see him getting forward and making problems there. He's scored some great goals and he's got a great finish on him. It's his passing that lets him down.
I agree with that. I think it might not even be just his passing that's the problem. I think for me it's more he doesn't show for the ball and want the ball. And if you look at you go back to where he's come from, he was a centre forward for a long time. So he's someone that is either going to really drop in or go in behind someone. He's always someone that kind of sits behind the player rather than you look at the best in the world in that position. You look at the Fabinhos and the Rodris, and sadly they're from City and Liverpool, but you look at even Frankie de Jong, they're constantly showing for the ball and they're constantly dropping in and going, give me the ball. And that's just not what Scott McTominay does. He's got a great range of passing when he gets going. I think he makes the wrong decisions at times, but I think that you saw the reports last year that Carrick was doing a lot of one-to-one coaching, trying to, coach him through these things and get him to do that.
Good person to
learn.
It
just wasn't working. It just didn't happen. I think they were hoping they could change him into something, but you can do that when you've got a lot of other players around you. You can do that when you don't have to play him week in, week out. But when last season happened and, Paul Pogba's injured and Fred's not performing well in those positions, and you don't want Bruno dropping in, Donny van der Beek isn't fancied there, and you're like, well, he has to play. You can't coach someone whilst they're trying to win Premier League football matches. And I think that you want him box to box. You've seen, the Leeds games are the big standout. Getting forward, breaking into the box and doing that. I think you saw Fred last season when Radnick kind of changed things and went, look, let's push you a bit further forward and have Matic alongside you. It changed how good he was, and you saw the best of Fred.
Fred was great.
And I think that you can do the same with McTominay, but I think that them both together, I think we've seen that. I'm not sure it's going to work. I think it'll be fine today. I think what you saw a lot of in the Liverpool game is they relied a lot on Varane and Lindelof taking the ball off the goalkeeper, and that's okay, but they almost always had to bypass Fred and McTominay, and we've had to do that for a long time now. I think this is one of the things that criticised Harry Maguire as well, is that he got a lot of pressure because the ball got passed to him and he didn't have that midfielder to give it to, and he had to be the one finding the forwards, finding Bruno. Whereas you look at these other teams, Laporte and Diaz, all they have to do is just find Rodri. He'll get it forward. Same with Van Dijk, just find Rodri, find Fabinho. He'll do the job for you. We didn't have that in front of him.
Chelsea.
Or you've got you've got the players there like Cancelo, Walker, who'll pick it up, go
it
forward. Fernandinho drops back.
And we've got
Rodri drops back.
Got Wan-Bissaka or Fred. I've got to choose a pass to, and you don't in your own third. That really isn't something what you do. I think with Martinez, I think that kind of like you've mentioned there, it can fix two problems. You've got someone who's really comfortable on the ball. If he's doing what Harry Maguire was doing last season and just goes, I can do this. I'll find that pass past people. But if he's in midfield, it means that Maguire, Lindelof and Varane can go, well, I'm confident I can fizz it into him here on the edge of our own box and he'll deal with it and not panic. He's a very good footballer. I think his aggression as well and all that kind of stuff. I seen a quote from Timber, who obviously we were linked with all the way through, saying, I'll go through a game and things, I'll maybe go through the motions or something, and all of a sudden Lisandro Martinez is screaming and swearing at me. And again, another one that obviously Ten Hag goes, he's a leader, I'm going to bring him into my team. If he's going to choose from that Ajax team a player, and this is the one that, whether we couldn't get other ones over the line or not, he's gone, that's the one I want. There's got to be a reason behind that.
You know what's interesting as well, and just thinking about this, how often does a team win the league like Ajax did, and a defender get player of the season?
Yeah, that's interesting.
And
and when they scored 100 goals or something as well.
But to be fair, like they had a few games towards the end of the season. There was a couple where they conceded a few goals. I don't think they lost the games in the end, but like their goals conceded record was unbelievable. Like before the last 5 games of the season, it was like ridiculous, like almost single figures. We're talking. Like I've never seen anything like it. So I guess there is a reason for it, but you don't see it very often, do you?
Modern day defender, though, isn't it? Like, I've seen Martinez clips. Like he's constantly spraying that ball. He's probably got a few assists this season. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That'll probably bump him up.
I saw a great video yesterday, and I understand that it always like amazes me the just base level of skill that like top level footballers have. And there's probably Harry Maguire could probably do something like this, but I very much doubt it. But there's a video of him like sort of past the goal line by the corner flag, and the ball's on the floor static, and he's just put his heel on top of it, flicked it up, and then just hit it on the volley, so it just curves in, like he's hit it from behind the goal, and it's curved into the goal. And I just remember thinking, centre half that can do things like that, like. That video alone convinced me he plays midfield. Like, that was
Fair
it.
enough.
5-second clip, get him in midfield. He's better than Fred.
Well, I went to that Italy-Argentina game at Wembley. You know that finalissima they did?
Yeah.
Not long ago. And he was playing centre back with what's his name? Is it Romero? The Spurs. Yeah. And they were solid. And they were just playing with the ball. And see, this is another thing. You know, we were saying about De Gea earlier. He might become better on the ball when he's got 2 centre-backs in front of him who are confident taking the ball. Because if you think about it, last season, it was Maguire, mostly Lindelof, and De Gea, like, as a 3, as a triangle. You can't really trust any of them. Again, it's sort of similar to the point I made with getting we might see the best out of Fred and McTominay with better midfielders. When you improve the defence, it might improve De Gea on the ball. Do you know what I mean? It's a confidence thing. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're not confident on the ball, you're screwed. Confidence is so huge in sport, and like, I don't think people realise that. And that's why when players are out of form, you have to do something about it. You have to drop them and then reintroduce them, try and build some confidence. And we saw that with like Rashford and Bruno a couple of years ago. You know that Europa League final we lost? Yeah. And they were just so overplayed, both those players. But we didn't have anyone to replace them with. No. It's just a confidence issue.
Confidence is so spot on, especially with defenders on the ball. Like, this has been such a problem with United since Ferguson retired. Even for a period with Sir Alex Ferguson, I remember certain defenders. Johnny Evans was bad for it, and Chris Smalling was bad for it. They do this thing where they get the ball, they're on the ball, and they go like this. And all that does is tell the opposition that you're frigging clueless. And that is exactly what it did. And it winds me up beyond belief. Harry Maguire does it as well. And it winds, like don't tell them that you don't know what you're doing. Keep it to yourself.
Look confident.
Look confident. Oh my God.
I felt like, I think Harry Maguire he absolutely, the start of last season, the confidence levels of him just went, and like you said, there's a constant time he's got his hands in the air, like, well, just be confident and play that pass. If you've got to play one over the top, just do it. Don't tell everyone you have no idea where you're going.
Winds me up, mate.
It does.
Fake it till you make it.
Exactly. That's what I've been doing all these years. Look at me now.
Play centre back next season. You and Martin.
I'm taller than him.
Get each other's shoulders.
I'd win more headers.
Let's have a look at some of your comments. There's a comment here saying, what was it? Where was it now? There's this comment about Martinez saying Ten Hag took him from centre defensive midfield into centre back. Why would he play him as a defensive midfielder?
Well,
we might be. Do you know what? There's a time we've been wrong on this channel. We might be wrong again about this.
This is just me with my wacky little theory. I'll be honest, I was totally unaware that Ten Hag turned him from a defensive midfielder to a centre back in the first place. However, I don't think that. I think that actually goes in the favour of him being a defensive midfielder again. The fact that Ten Hag knows that he's done it and
he knows he can do it. I think that. A few people saying, can we stop moving players from position to position? Lindelof Lindelof's never been a CDM, but people mentioning that all the time. But I do think...
That's just a rogue shout.
That's just a rogue
Everyone
shout.
just chucks out every now and again.
Just play Lindelof there. Like, no,
stop saying that.
But I think we've... I got disappointed when Jose started selling like the likes of Daley Blind. We got rid of a lot of players that could play in a couple of different positions, and I think that you need that. You know, you look at you look at the kind of players. James Milner was at Liverpool, pops up at right back, midfield, plays in number 10. If you need him to go somewhere, he does a job for you. We've lost those players. I think Daley Blind was the prime example of that. Jose was like, no, I'm signing players. They do one job and they stand right there. We've got rid of that.
I'm just going to interject slightly on this Daley Blind loving.
I
feel like you're overrating him a little bit, and you're looking at his time at United with rose-coloured glasses here. The best centre-back partnership United have had since Fergie retired was Chris Smalling and Daley Blind. However, that was in a season where Van Gaal played the most defensive, turgid crap football I've ever seen.
Bad.
No wonder they didn't concede any goals. They just kept the ball in their own half all season.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Daley Blind was the kind of player you got rid of. We had players like John O'Shea and stuff that filled in gaps and were good. And like last season when Maguire was on his arse and couldn't play, we had no one to go in there. Someone like Daley Blind would have done 2 or 3 games there and gone, he fills in. Left back would have filled in.
No. Right. Daley Blind was an average centre back. He was a crap left back. And I don't think we saw him enough in defensive midfield. I would have liked to see him a little bit. Yeah.
That's what he was signed for.
He never played there, though, really, for us. Only very few times.
No, I agree with you.
But he is gorgeous, to be fair, so I'll let him have that.
Someone said, Sol Blind, but Jones survived. Phil Jones is going to retire at Manchester United the way things are going. Statue of him. Last player to win the title and all that kind of stuff. He's going to be there for it. That quarterback in the testimonials was horrible. Saying, I don't want a testimonial because no one will come and watch it. I don't want to be there.
Was that real?
It was, yeah.
It's actually sad. Actually sad.
You feel sorry for him for a bit, and then you realise that he's played no games for United and earned however much money in the last couple of years, and then it's a bit like,
it's just weird that he's still here. How long's left on his contract?
Well, Ollie gave him a new
one. It's a 5-year contract on it.
When Ollie was in his caretaker manager stage, that was when he just said, let's just give loads of contracts out, and they gave, I think, Martial got one, Bailly got one, and Phil Jones got one, all in that time.
Yeah, so another couple of years.
But this was the time when it was Woodward's idea was, as long as you give him a contract, we can value him at £45 million for the balance sheet. Even though Phil Jones isn't going to play, if I give him a contract till 2030, we can value him at 45 million quid in the balance sheet, and then we can get more debt. So that's the best way of doing it. We've got a super chat here from Akshmeet Singh saying, I've been convinced from day one that Martinez will play in midfield. We have too many centre-backs. The worst one is the captain.
He's not, but... Okay.
He's not the worst one. Definitely not. But I think that... Look, I agree. I still think he's going to play midfield. But it would be... If he is signing as a centre-back, are you a bit worried that we've just got a lot of centre-backs now? Because Varane's not going to sit on the bench. He'd probably sit on the treatment table by the looks of things again. Maguire's going to play because he's captain of Manchester United. Lindelof, I think, was probably our best centre-back last season. Not that there was a very high bar. Bailly, I think, definitely needs to go. Phil Jones, we've mentioned. You've got Tuanzebe still there.
Yeah, Tuanzebe.
Tuanzebe, I think is
he on this tour?
I think he's done. I think there was a rumour the other day with Bournemouth on loan potentially. I don't think United rate him that much. No. I don't think he'll have much of a chance. But you've listed all the other centre halves there, and I think 3 of them there I counted Varane, Bailly and Phil Jones are massively injury prone.
Yeah.
I also think, Phil Jones we can put in the Tuanzebe camp as well, and not being
so.
good enough. So let's forget him as well. But Varane, massively injury prone. And I think if you've got 4 defenders, 4 centre-backs that you know are going to stay relatively fit throughout the season, then you can survive on that.
Yep.
But if you've got 2 of them who are injury prone, you need a 5th one as well. And potentially that's what Martinez is about, so he can play both positions.
Yeah, and that's it. You again, I hate to do it compared to City, Liverpool, but at this moment of time, they are the best team in the country. But you look at what Liverpool have got, those 4 centre-backs they've got Van Dijk, who's obviously the ever-present, but Konate played in and out, was more in the Champions League than he was in the league. Matip played a lot of games. Joe Gomez just got a new contract. So they've got 4 very strong centre-backs. You'll obviously seen what City have done, where they've got Laporte, Diaz, Stones, and they've got Nathan Ake, who apparently I've seen
He's staying.
report. He's staying.
Yeah, he's staying.
So again, they've got 4. Nathan Ake being an injury-prone one, but the rest of them seem like they all seem to get a good amount of games. And if we're going to play Europa League next season, where you're doing Thursday, Sundays, you have to have that big squad.
That's the quality that you need, though, as
do,
well.
yeah.
I genuinely think, and people might laugh at this, but Diaz, Laporte, and Stones are all veering on world-class centre-backs. Yeah. Even John Stones.
Yeah, definitely.
Even John Stones are put in that category.
Veering on world-class?
I mean, John Stones makes Harry Maguire look world-class for England. Or some people say Harry Maguire makes him look world class. But John Stones performs for England and for Manchester City. Like, he's brilliant. And Nathan Ake has been brilliant when he's been needed at City as well. He's not world class, obviously.
No.
But that's the sort of level of 4 centre halves you need. I don't think United have anything like that.
I think that's what happens as well when the team's winning and it's a winning team. I think Joe Gomez is a good example. Like, he's a good player, but he's not like a top centre back. But in that Liverpool squad, he can come in and he looks great next to Van Dijk.
He played left back one game last season and put a cross in, and they scored. He put an unbelievable cross, and you're like, where's that come from?
Exactly.
He's one of your best centre backs, and he's playing left back, filling in for Robertson. And everyone's panicking because they've got no one, and he puts this cross in, and they score. You're like,
confidence thing as well.
Martinez left footed, isn't he?
Left footed. There you go.
Just play him up top.
Go on, that's not it.
What is it with Dutch managers,
Bruno
though,
actually in the 10?
signing left footers? Like, I remember Van Gaal went through and went, do you know what, we need 7 left footers. I need to sign this. Did he sign Di Maria? There's something about it's weird, though. He signed Di Maria, Rojo, Blind, and there was another one as well. There was another. Luke Shaw came in as well. So they signed 4 left-footed players in his first transfer window.
Van Gaal's left-footed.
You've got Ten Hag coming in, signs Malacia and Martinez straight away. Something about left footers.
Well, look, what I don't get is this big thing at the minute of you need. I think it was Van Gaal the first one that did it at United. You need a right-footed centre back and a left-footed centre back. You don't really, do you? You don't really. But one thing that I will say, and I do realise I'm saying this, knowing the fact that Man United's greatest ever left back was right-footed, Dennis Irwin. But if you're playing left back, you should not be right-footed. You need to grow up, play right back. Brandon Williams, stop it, mate. Grow up, play right back, pal.
Ashley Young, remember?
Every
time he cut in, and you just thought, he's going to lose the ball. And he would. And he would. Every time.
He did. Someone saying, wasn't Schneiderlin left-footed too? Probably was.
I don't think he was.
Was he?
I don't think he was.
Remember how excited people were for Schneiderlin?
Just
how
bad it was. Schmidfield.
Oh, Schmidfield.
Everyone was just like, he's one of these Southampton players who's going to turn out to be quality. And he just never happened, did it?
Does he even play for Everton now? Is he still at Everton?
Is that where he went?
Yeah,
to Everton, straight from United, yeah.
To be fair, we made a decent amount of money back for him, considering he played 4 times for United, and I don't remember a game where he went, he was all right there.
I had high hopes.
Me neither.
Big high hopes. We went from having no midfielders. We literally had no midfielders to sign Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin, Herrera, all in the same summer, and we had Fellaini still, and we still had Carrick in there, and you're like,
what an era this has been. This 10 years, it's been shocking. The players coming in and out of United. Honestly, I hope the world's round. We'll get good again, but I hope it's now.
Schneiderlin's at Nice, apparently. He's moved to Nice.
Is he?
That's nice. I mean Nice.
It's too early in the morning.
It's like, what time is it?
What time is it?
20
It's 20 to 11. We've got 25 minutes to kick off.
I might go and make some coffees.
Someone will make some coffees for us, won't they? Someone's gonna make some coffees. Oh,
coffee boy! Coffee
please.
boy! Ding 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 ding!
Shall we do some score predictions? Because I know this is ridiculous. Because I said, let's at least do. I said the other day, let's do first half score predictions. Because you do any more than that,
You
the
never
team's
know.
going to change. They're going to change.
Yeah, but that's the fun,
3
isn't
sugars,
it? That's the
please,
fun,
my
isn't
mate,
it?
with milk, yes, please.
Can I have a cup of tea, please?
Coffee one, please.
No,
We're all
no
getting
sugar.
yours. Tea.
Builder's tea.
Builders.
Builder's brew, whatever. Score prediction.
First half only. We're not doing anything past that because the team's going to change. This team, what do you reckon they can do?
I'm going to say, shall I be a bit respectful or shall I just go for it?
Go for it.
5-0.
5-0 at half
5-0
time.
half time. Melbourne Victory. I mean,
Well, we'll go through the Melbourne Victory.
when did they
team
last
very,
qualify
very
for the
shortly.
Champions League?
So it's a great point. It's a great point.
When were they last in the Champions League? Exactly.
It's like saying
Or the
how many
Europa
goals
League.
has Messi scored in the Premier League. It's
They're
ridiculous. It's how
so
he's got none.
crap, they've had to put victory in their name to make them feel like they've won something.
I was telling these, there is a comment on the preview that said, I can't believe you've clickbaited us. I thought the game's already happened at Melbourne and beaten Man United. This is what. I went through and went, oh, you're
You
joking.
said that earlier. I didn't get it when you said it earlier. But I get it now.
Melbourne Victory.
I've
No.
always hated Melbourne Victory. They're my number one most hated club. I hate them, the stupid badge.
Their fans.
Oh.
To be fair, actually, no. We actually like Melbourne Victory because the other Melbourne is Melbourne City as part of the
It
City
is, it
group.
isn't? Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
sure.
sound Melbourne Victory. They're all right,
yeah.
lads. Sorry, lads. I've done a quick U-turn there.
What do you reckon score first half? Who's going to be a standout in that first half today?
Oh, that's a good one. Because I think the score, I'm going to go 2-0, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
genuinely could be. I think they'll chill out a little bit in this
Yeah.
game, to be honest. I can see someone like Fred standing out.
Okay.
Because I just had to think of the lineup then. But the main reason for that is because, like I say, I think that a lot of I think Ten Hag will very much be like, feel free to take your time out there, chill out today, focus on fitness, don't do anything mad. But Fred's Fred, isn't he? So Fred will still be legging it about like an headless chicken, and I just think he'll stand out and look pretty decent against a pretty poor team.
I agree. I'm hoping Jadon Sancho has another good game. I think it's a big season for Jadon Sancho this season with the season he had last year where there was so much expectation. He came in and then he ended up playing on the left instead of the right because Marcus Rashford was injured or Ollie fancied him there and then Rangnick fancied him there. It looks like he's got his spot now on that right-hand side. Again, very similar play to how Anthony was for Ajax last season. Ten Hag likes this winger who's good on the ball and wants to drop in and do that, and he likes this one direct winger. And I think that you're going to see Sancho at this moment in time. He's the one you want to get on the ball. He looked so good in the last game. He looked like he's full of confidence again. And again, this thing about players come from the German league. Did you do some stuff with Steve's channel? With this,
we did a video on it.
The drop off in the first season is massive compared to numbers and stuff, but they do tend to get into it a little bit more.
It's like
in the second season.
I think it's the stat was so from your last season in the Bundesliga to your first season in England, there's a 68% drop off in XG, which is bonkers. And that's like for 68% of players. That is mental. So I genuinely think Sancho is going to have a great season this year.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling. I just think he's going to thrive under Ten Hag. Ten Hag's going to coach him well. And he's just going to be like the main man. I just got a feeling.
Right, we're talking here about players like Sancho potentially having great seasons. I think Jadon Sancho is a player that's so good that if he has a great season, United have a great season.
Yeah,
I think I don't think that Jadon Sancho can have a great season without Man United finishing top 4, for example.
I think so.
Because you're right, because you need the other attackers. You need to get the... basically, like if Sancho's having a top season, the chances are Rashford and Martial are as well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly
Because that forward three, they need to work together. They need to be getting assists and goals. So it's like that season when we finished... Was it third when Martial got like 16 goals and Rashford got 15? They were Greenwood as well. Yeah. They were just like on it. Just hoping for something like that again. Especially if Ronaldo's not here. Do you know what I mean? Martial could be the main man again.
Absolutely.
And who would have thought that, hey? Who would have thought it? I thought he'd never play for United again when he went to Sevilla.
Neither did I. The reports this week is saying that people are asking Eric Ten Hag, can you get more out of, can you see a lot out of Anthony Martial to save us some money this summer, which is never what you want to hear from Manchester United. But he has shown glimpses, and I think that there's the excuse of the amount of changes in managers, the amount of times he's gone from being a centre forward to you're going out on the left. He's had his number taken off him, all this kind of stuff since he's been there. There are some pretty good excuses for Anthony Martial. Now, I do think there's times when he's been completely off the ball, and I think that, the same excuses can be given to Marcus Rashford, but you've always felt like he was given a bit more and working through that and always... But Anthony Martial has had times when he's just completely dropped off and at times not looked interested. And whether that's just his demeanour as well, I think that's the other part of it. I think that just because of his personality, I think that goes against him at times as well. And I think that it can be harsh. But you're hoping that one manager comes in and puts all his trust in him and maybe you see him back to when he was scoring those 21 goals or whatever he scored that season without a penalty. You're hoping you see that again.
I think it's weird, actually, when you're comparing two players like Martial and Rashford. And I know that some people absolutely love Martial, so bear with me on this. I'm not having a go at him just yet. Because I actually think this could be a reason why you'd keep Martial around more than Rashford. I think Rashford's problems were exemplified last season where his decision-making is just absolutely terrible at times. Yeah. He genuinely looks like he's lost the ability to go round a man at times and lost... At times, he looked like a championship player, like genuinely standard-wise. Really. Whereas worse. Martial, the main criticism people will say is, it's work rate. He doesn't look interested. If he worked hard, then he'd be a great player. Well, it's easier to turn a player who doesn't work very hard to a player who works hard than it is to turn from a player who just doesn't have the quality to a player that does have the quality.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, if last season was an indication of where Marcus Rashford's at in terms of quality, that's a harder problem to fix than Anthony Martial, I think. So there are two ways of looking at it, but I do think that on the pitch, I know that it's ironically a lazy argument because people do call him lazy all the time, but the work rate is a slight issue, I think, and the way that he doesn't look interested is a slight issue. But for me, more concerns over Rashford, who just quite simply looks crap.
Yeah, he did look. He looked woeful last season, and that was the drop off of the one thing you were getting out of Marcus Rashford the last couple of years was he was always putting some kind of numbers up, and you always felt like he was going to score a goal. He had the season a couple of seasons ago where he looked unbelievable under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Then the season after didn't quite look as good, was obviously carrying injuries, but still scored nearly 20 goals and was contributing all the time. And then he's come back after that injury. Everyone was, saying he's going to come back firing. He scored that goal against Leicester, I think, on his return. And we all went, game. There you go. Marcus Rashford's back, ball over the top. He was sharp onto it and scored the goal. And you thought, great, he's going to do that. But he completely tailed off. And whether there was, there's the question mark over whether he was affected by, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer kind of made him one of the main men. Him getting sacked and all this kind of stuff, whether that really knocked his confidence. And with that coupled with, his injuries and stuff, really knocked him. You don't know about that. But there is no excuses now this season. He's had 12 months of being fit, and he's getting a proper pre-season. He's got a manager who hopefully trusts him and backs him. Playing him in the first game ahead of the likes of Anthony Elanga, who had a better season last season. You're hoping now that Marcus Rashford kicks on and does more in a United shirt. And the worry again, we've got the highlights of the Liverpool game on. He missed a couple of chances.
He did, yeah.
And really clear chances, and he didn't look settled over either of them either. You're hoping that is just a bit of pre-season rust, and because you look at the Sancho goal, first chance, goal, Anthony Martial didn't get too many chances, and when he went through, you felt like he was scoring that goal. Didn't quite feel like that for Rashford, but you're hoping that he does kick on. I'm going to get into a couple of the comments, people asking about where's James Garner. It looks like he's still injured. It looks like he's out of this game, hasn't played in the first game, isn't going to play in this game, which is, again, disappointing. There's no Varane on the bench as well, which kind of looks like he's picked up a knock, which, look, people can't be shocked at now. This has been him since he's joined Manchester United. David De Gea isn't on the bench either. He did kind of limp off. I think they were hoping he would play 90 minutes in the last game because it didn't look like he wanted to change goalkeeper. So I think that David De Gea has got the time off. He's not going to play this game. Hopefully it's not too big of an injury. Tom Heaton's in goal for this one because we've not really got much past Tom Heaton. Bishop and Kovar are two very, very young goalkeepers. So
we'll sign a keeper.
Yeah, we will.
I think so. I think we'll sign a third choice goalkeeper, someone that's...
And then Heaton will be the second choice.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm cool with that.
I'm happy with that.
I'm fine with it. It's just, it seems like the third choice goalkeeper never really moves, and obviously that's what Heaton was last year. So I don't know. It'd be quite surprising for him to go. I mean, he might, because like last season was quite unique. Because I think the reason United signed him is because I think they just must have thought someone's going to go, Henderson or De Gea. But obviously they both stayed. So then out of nowhere, Tom Heaton is just third choice.
Well, Ten Hag's got the knack of signing really cheap goalkeepers. I've not seen that with, because was it the goalkeeper for Ajax got done for, had a drugs issue or something? Who's the goalkeeper? Onana had a drugs ban. Ten Hag signed like 6 goalkeepers for less than 10 million quid, and they all were good. He kept signing goalkeepers since he was there, and they were all good.
Oh,
so
really?
I think that might be something in Ten Hag gets us a budget goalkeeper that might start some games.
I want to know what Onana got done for.
Onana got done for, it was like some kind of performance-enhancing drug, I believe.
Wouldn't have been weird if he was in Amsterdam.
He's now at Inter Milan.
I know, yeah.
But he definitely got, he had this drugs ban, and they signed loads of goalkeepers, and they all seem to do all right.
Imagine a stone goalkeeper.
He signed a 38-year-old goalkeeper just for his kicking ability. I'm getting this from producer Ethan.
He might not like De Gea then.
No.
It's gone on the old.
I'm not going to lie. So they've got the coverage on here, and the lights are out in the stadium by the looks of things. I think the teams aren't too far away. Let's go through that Manchester United team one more time before we get going. We've got Tom Heaton in goal, as mentioned. No David De Gea in the squad. Back four of Diogo Dalot, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. Rafael Varane drops out, looks to be injured. You've got McFred in midfield again. I know people are dead happy about that happening. You've got Elanga, Bruno, Sancho, and Martial leading the line for Manchester United.
You know, like the people who go these games, like obviously it's an amazing occasion for them. Like I'm sure so many people there can't even, we've never been to see United. We'll never get the chance to see United. It's great for them. Do you reckon they get like a little bit annoyed that that they treat it like a pre-season? Like, do you reckon like when they make 11 subs, they're like, wish they just pretend it's a normal game? Come on.
Nah, look at that.
They got flares.
Are they United fans?
No, they can't be United fans.
Imagine if it is.
Imagine.
TRA's just gone over there.
Melbourne Victory away.
In fact, just to slightly derail the conversation ever so slightly, you can just get a quick message in, because like a well-known Man United fan, actually, you might not have seen this, passed away in the last couple of days. Did you ever read Red Issue growing up?
I've seen it, yeah.
Mr. Spleen, the G-stand grumbler.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best column I'd ever read as a Man United fan. When I grew up as a kid, I used to read this column. It was constantly something that as a kid you should not be reading, by the way. But he's easily one of the funniest United fans I'd ever seen, and one of the funniest people that I'd ever written about Man United. I imagine he wasn't a massive fan of what we do here.
No.
But still, he deserves all the love in the world, because Mr. Spleen was the absolute goat. I love that guy.
Absolutely. We've had the guys from Red Issue on the channel. I think we've done Fanzine Friday a couple of times on here. We've had the guys from Red Issue on, and they're really good things to be supporting, and really sad news that he's passed away.
What a legend.
Right, we have got how long to kick off? We've got less than 10 minutes. Someone's got a comment here saying it's 3 a.m. in California. It seems a bit strange watching the game at 11 o'clock in the morning. Let me know where you're from in the comments. Let us know where you're from, because I'm guessing there's not many people local time. Most people are at work, aren't they?
Yeah.
11 o'clock's a bit of a weird one. So let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Are you watching from Australia? Are you staying up at 3 o'clock in the morning? We've got someone saying 6 p.m. here in Bali, 5 a.m. in Oklahoma.
Why are you right? No, honestly, like fair play. Like honestly, if you're a United fan who's getting up at that time to watch pre-season friendly, fair play. But I wouldn't frigging do it. But why are you doing it? Why? What are you getting out of it?
We've got 2:05 in Anchorage, Alaska. We've got people from Bermuda watching, South Carolina, 6 o'clock in the morning in Maine. Someone's gone 10:54 in Birmingham, 3 o'clock in 11 o'clock in Duckenfield. I've got here as well. There's people all over. People saying pulled a sickie this morning.
It's 11 o'clock, but it's also
pulled a sickie
at
United field. The Melbourne Victory. That's a good commitment.
Wow, pulled a sickie.
Pulled a sickie to watch the Melbourne Victory game. 10 o'clock in New Zealand. It's all over the place. I was, again, trying to work out this stuff with Joe about like who's going to be up at what time. I was like, this is all a bit mad with the time difference and stuff. And again, them guys have gone from Thailand to there. It's a little bit late, a little bit even bigger time difference now. All these games, the next 3 games, are about this 11 o'clock kickoff. So we're going to be live for every single one of them. at around the same time.
They should do morning game. They should do one week every season where all the teams kick off at 10 o'clock. See what happens.
Well, when I was in the States,
See what happens. But imagine having a full English just watching the football.
But
right,
you don't tell the teams what weekend it is. They all get a phone call at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Get up, lads, we're kicking off.
Like City, you're screwed because like Grealish is just still leathered. It's
Like, you meant to have the late kickoff, and you just get the call. Like we got kickoff in 4 hours.
It's like that idea that someone said about the transfer window. Like they shouldn't be able to announce signings until like the day before the season starts. Then all the teams announce their signings on the same day.
Imagine the show.
Right?
It'd be so good. The coverage.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that, bud.
We need them.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, bud.
Look.
Do you know? I reckon 5-0 half time. I reckon because I think Ten Hag is obviously he hasn't got a long time to get his system into these players. He's going to be working them hard. So I reckon they're going to just come out of the blocks fast.
It's going to be hard work for them.
But then Melbourne Victory. This is a massive game for them, isn't it?
Yeah, because there is a bit of that. Because Liverpool can properly pie it off and go, this is our first pre-season game. All these lads have had one training session that are coming on. No pressure. These guys they're not going to play Manchester United.
Yeah, exactly.
Too many times. So they're going to maybe up for it a little bit more than them Liverpool players.
Like imagine like an academy lad like from Melbourne Victory because this is a pre-season. He's playing in this game. And he's playing against.
I have missed a super
Fernandes.
chat here. There is a super chat talking about Ethan Laird, asking will Ethan Laird get minutes. We mentioned this at the start of the stream. A little bit confused about why he's not got minutes so far. He didn't appear in the first game
because Ten Hag bigged him up, didn't he? He said like he's like he's got all the attributes for a modern fullback.
Yeah, and for Ethan Laird not to get any minutes. Now Ethan Laird, you mentioned Brandon Williams before. Ethan Laird was that good that Brandon Williams had to play at left back. That's why Brandon Williams started left back, because in those academy teams, Ethan Laird was your go-to, your starter at right back. They couldn't budge him and they couldn't give time to Brandon Williams. So they went, the only way we're going to get these two in is one of them's got to play left back, and that was Brandon Williams. Right. Ethan Laird's had his rest period. He's had his time he was at Bournemouth and at Fulham. Again, really injury prone, which is the worry for Ethan Laird, because I think he was scoring. He was something like he was top goal scorer for the under-23s one season for United, which at right back is absolutely ridiculous. So the quality of him is definitely there. It's just about, can he get enough minutes? Can he stay fit? I'm a little bit worried about him not playing in these games, because if you're not playing in pre-season where there's a bit of pressure off and stuff like that, especially when it's Delo, who I've got massive question marks about in terms of defensive stuff. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is... I just don't think he's good enough. No. It doesn't matter how many one-on-one sessions he does. I don't think he's good enough to be Manchester United's right back. So if you're not getting time now, when are you going to get time to impress the manager?
Yeah, I think defence is a hard position for an academy lad to come in and make it their own, because it's harder to shine. Do you know what I mean? It's harder to stand out. Whereas, like, for example, Rashford coming in against Midtjylland and scoring, like, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. Same with, like, obviously Greenwood, but just other players. Like, in attack is easier to show what you've got and like stand out. So it's probably do you know what I mean? It's a lot easier for a new manager to come in and be like, I want a right back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you don't go, oh, I've got Laird, I've got Williams. You know, you're not too sure. So you'd rather just be safe and get someone in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I've never really thought about that before.
Yeah, but it's a tough one for him, and I'm hoping he gets. I think it's one of those now, because Ethan Laird's a little bit older now. I'll double check how old he is, but I think he's in his early 20s now, so he's not a kid breaking into the team. I think he's had a couple of loans as well, and I think it's almost, this is the season now where it's, you're either going to play now in United's first team, or at least be involved in the squad, or we're going to look to move you on. You look at what Twanzebe, he's got a little bit older now. At some point you go, he's got to just go now. He's not going to be involved in the squad. The question mark was over last year, was he going to be involved in the squad? And he got moved on, and we signed Rafael Varane, and just went, look, he's not going to be the player in there. I think it's kind of, if he's not involved this season, can you cash in on Ethan Laird and move on? Because he's not going to play. There's no point him sitting there being third choice behind the two players we've got. Let's have a look. We've got another super chat, Manny Social, saying breakfast burritos and beer, Cali Red's lifestyle. 3 o'clock in the morning on the beer and the breakfast burritos.
Can we just say that a breakfast burrito is just mint?
No, yeah. They are mega.
I've never had one. A breakfast burrito.
Unbelievable.
So wait a minute. Well, let's
Explain.
just check. What are you
Unbelievable.
classing as a breakfast burrito? Because
So a breakfast burrito
Yeah.
is the tortilla.
Yeah.
You got eggs.
yeah,
Refried beans, maybe some
Right, spot on.
jalapenos, ham, all that kind of stuff. Bit of sriracha sauce if you want to go put a bit more in there. Mega.
Black
Yeah.
pudding.
I could see. This is the thing, though.
It depends where you go. Now you're going for that's the Mexican style breakfast burrito. This
Yeah.
is the UK breakfast burrito.
But
a bit different.
I prefer the UK breakfast burrito. Full
Yeah,
English
okay.
in a burrito.
Yeah, that'd be mega.
Oh,
That.
it's mint.
I might have that tomorrow.
Absolutely mint.
Make that tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Pop into Tesco later.
That's it. Harry Maguire leading the team out there.
he
Fireworks
is.
and all sorts going on.
Do you reckon if he scores, he's going to give it the old?
He's got to do that. He has to.
Do you know, I'd actually rate that.
The
If
thing
did
is,
that.
he needs to run
Funny.
with some of this stuff now. And I think a lot of players don't. Where he kind
Yo,
of.
that was well weird. Did you
Yeah.
not see that Bruno and I can't remember who that player was in front of him then, but they both just did a synchronized,
Like,
like exactly the same time. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I looked at like last season. I said the best thing I saw at Old Trafford was Ronaldo had a drink and he just threw the bottle and it like, so this is the bottle. It like did that, and then landed up. And the guy who sits in front of me was just like, and I was like,
It's the best thing.
I
he's
think
done
we
all
were
season.
like 4-0 down to Liverpool at the time.
I was just on a bottle.
But he's amazing.
You all cheered.
What can this guy not do? Yeah.
What
Go
do you
to
rate
America.
of the home kit? What do you rate of that
I don't
kit?
like it.
You don't like it?
I just don't like collars and shields and all that. I just like nice crew neck, simple kit. So, but I don't
No
care.
go. I'll tell you what, the goalkeeper
I
kit's
like
class.
it. I like the home kit. The only problem with it is the black stripes along the shoulders. I don't get why they're black. Just make them white. It
Yeah.
would make so much more sense.
The only thing I don't like about it is how close it is to the Arsenal kit. I think if Arsenal didn't release exactly the same kit as Man United, I think it would have been all right. I don't mind it. I think they can see what they're trying to do. They try and remake an old kit every couple of seasons, don't they? And
Yeah.
I think that, I like it, but it's just a bit too
The-
close
the-
to the
the-
Arsenal
You see
kit.
on the right of the screen, like those
Yeah.
fans, just
Yeah.
sort of like where the edge of the pitch is.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being sat there. Think about how far away you are
Well,
from
is
the
it-
pitch.
is it
and
not
low
a-
down. You can see anything.
Is
from
it
there.
not I think it's a multi-purpose stage. So is it
Yeah.
Aussie rules they play here as
And
well?
cricket, yeah.
And cricket.
We should do that. The second half. We should just do Aussie rules.
yeah, go for it.
And
Or
first
play
half
football
cricket.
on an Aussie rules size pitch, which is like I think it goes all the way to the edge there.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Proper make and run there.
You playing on the wing.
Yeah, you play
It's
on the
like
ring.
so cross-field pitch and pass. You're like
200 meters away from your left.
do
winger
we
there.
know any of these players?
I don't know. Do you want to go to the
Brilliante.
team?
No.
Anderson's playing right back. I thought he
Anderson,
retired.
Miranda. Is that Miranda as in the
It can't be
Brazilian
that
centre?
one.
It might be.
Can't be.
You got Jay-Z
Not
playing
the
goal.
I just said, is that Miranda? And producer Ian's just gone, what, the comedian?
Yes, it's
Yes.
Miranda Hart.
Miranda
centre
Hart,
half.
No, Miranda as in is it not a Brazilian centre back? He
Yeah,
was
I know
quite
what
good.
you mean. Yeah, United
It's not
loves
him. Okay.
No.
cool.
Definitely not
That's
him.
good. That's it.
Was Nani on the bench? Was he? Is he?
We've got someone saying Fred collar up definitely.
None of them went collar up for the first
No,
one,
they
did they?
didn't.
Him
Lewis,
Braver.
big news for Melbourne Victory. He's not starting, but Nani is in the squad and he is on the bench for Melbourne Victory today.
That guy looks old.
I went on the preview. I said, if Nani was around, peak Twitter, right? What FC's bigger, Nani FC or Martial FC?
Right.
Because I think Nani
Yeah.
FC, peak Twitter, would have been ridiculous.
I think you're spot on.
It-
And the thing is with Nani is, and I've already shit all over Daily Blin's legacy at Man United, so I'm going to do the same for Nani
No,
right now.
it's not Nani.
Look, we were successful, and
Yeah.
Nani's highlight reel is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
The guy scored in the Champions League penalty shootout. You've
Yes.
got to give him that.
Yeah.
But he was the best player in the world 1 in every 10 games.
Absolutely.
But
That's
then
all
the
right, dude.
9 games, he was garbage at
Yeah.
times. I'm sorry, but he was. But for that 1 in 10, oh my God, what a player.
And
But
I
when
just-
you're winning, doesn't matter, does it?
Exactly.
That's what I mean. But can you imagine if he was saying this team now, and the amount of people going, why is he not starting every week?
Yeah.
He's our best player. You've seen this goal. I've got a highlights reel of him here scoring 4 goals from 40 yards away and then doing backflips when he does them.
we should just
Why
say
isn't
it.
he playing?
We should just
Worse
sign
than
him
Martial
this summer.
FC. Worse than Donny van der Beek FC. He would have been. It would have been. Ridiculous.
But to be fair to him, he did have that one season where he was pretty consistent throughout the season, and that would be enough to feast on for like years.
The 2000. It was when Ronaldo first left.
Was
and he played? Did it? Was it not? He played on with Rooney and Valencia as like the front three.
Was that 08-09?
9-10, I think. I think that was when he scored the goal against Arsenal when he cut inside. We've kicked off, by the way. Manchester United versus Melbourne Victory.
Liam Bradford's on commentary.
We will get the. Make sure you line up the score, the clock, by the way, with your stream. Don't be ruining things for us. Don't say goal when we've not seen it yet. It just ruins everybody's stream. So make sure you line things up once all that is set. Producer Ethan is sorting that straight away.
I loved Nani.
I did love Nani
because I was like the age where like Ronaldo was like the person you wanted to be, like the one person in the world you wanted to be. But then like,
so you related to Nani in that sense?
no. But then what I was gonna say is like Nani was like the B-Tech Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So he was like the Ronaldo on the other side who's not as good, but also played for Portugal and everything. So I was just like, yeah, Nani's sick as well.
All you're doing is just saying that Nani was the attainable Ronaldo.
Yeah,
he's not a big Nani.
In fact, my mate's Club Penguin name was Nanny17. There you go.
Club Penguin name.
I had
wow.
Club
Has anyone ever mentioned Club Penguin on a Watchalong?
No,
there you go.
I had the paid account on Club Penguin because I begged my gran to pay for it for me. It was like £4 a month or something. I loved it.
Oh,
when I had Club Penguin, I was in primary
sick.
school, and in primary school was the only time in my life that I was tall because I had a growth spurt in year 5. So my name on Club Penguin was weirdly Big Gaz. Never at any point in my life have I ever been Big Gaz.
Do you reckon people thought Big Gaz was like 30 on Club Penguin? It's just like
Big Gaz is definitely 40
like
years old.
17, like, and then it's like Big Gaz. It's like on the iceberg.
Big Gaz has entered
Manchester
your
Maverick has just asked, what the hell is Club Penguin? You need Dre, you need to give
Club Penguin was like, I don't even know how to explain it.
It was a chat room for kids. It's what it was, which is why
Big Gaz is probably a bit rough. It probably wasn't the best name.
But yeah, it was free, but you could have a membership as well. And you used to just sort of like go to different rooms. There was like an iceberg and there was like a town. There was like an ice ring. And you just like get clothes and dress your penguin up and stuff.
Do you remember? I realised
it was games.
I realised the game's on, by the way, but just dead quickly.
We've got to do this for 3 hours. We're going to talk absolute nonsense at some point.
Do you remember when you first set up your Club Penguin account and it came up with the different age ranges? And you'd have like something like 3 to 6 years old, like infant, Jesus. And then the next one was like kid, and that was like 6 to 8 years old. Then it was like I can't remember the exact terminology they used, but then the next one was like 10 to 11, and then they had like OAP, which was 12 plus.
Oh my
And I just remember I had a penguin with a walking stick.
Really?
And I just remember being like, that's so weird.
For a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
Was there not a Big Gaz category? 40 plus.
You know what? I know what that category be labelled as.
Yeah.
But just to stress, like, I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
That was about 9.
Go and have a pop.
Oh.
It looked some good football there from United.
Yeah,
Looked
I haven't
sharp
watched any
to
of it
start. We've worked that a few times. McTominay trying that cross from like the edge of the 18-yard box, like kind of inside. That's happened a lot. I think Sancho's goal came from the same kind of thing, and I think that's something we're gonna see a lot of.
Ooh,
Delo just about didn't keep it in. Goal kick to Melbourne Victory.
I just can't get my head around someone like Erik ten Hag and what we know about him going into the season with Delo and Wan-Bissaka as his only right backs. I can't believe that'll happen.
I just think that he's more worried about the fact that he could go into the season with Fred and McTominay as only centre midfielders.
God, his chance here.
Hey, it's on.
Oh my God, it's going to be 1-0.
Could go. It's 1-0.
1-0 Melbourne Victory.
Oh my
It
God,
could be.
what a goal.
And victory for
That
Melbourne.
wasn't good. 1-0. So yeah, that wasn't very good.
It's 5-0 out the window.
That's the 5-0 gone.
I never said who to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, who's to blame? Who can we scapegoat?
I think we can go Lindelof and Maguire there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get him out.
Get him out. Again, high
Great
line
finish, by the
from
way.
United. One ball over the top, kind of put Melbourne Victory in on that right-hand side.
Let's have a look.
Luke Shaw, very, very high up. Lindelof's his 1v1. And Maguire just looks...
He just doesn't have the pace,
Maguire looks like he's not played in footballer so far this season and looked really slow there on the turn.
That was actually poor from Lindelof to Laird.
It was poor. Again,
good finish.
Two good... Perfect cross and really perfect finish, like 2 one-touch finishes.
We wouldn't have scored that. If that was United then, last season, we wouldn't have scored that in just like 2 touches.
I realise that I probably should know this, but what is their season like? Like, are they...
So this is still their pre-season as well.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah, so
right.
I think they play football as a summer sport, so I think that it's still their pre-season.
I was going to be here saying that they're so much fitter than United, and
they're definitely not, no.
Well, they probably are, but for different reasons.
They finished second last year in the A-League and won the Australian Cup, so...
Did they?
They had a good season.
The Australian
Cup. They 1-0 up against Manchester United inside 5 minutes, so good start.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh, wow. United look a bit all over the place.
That was abysmal,
wasn't it? Kind of rattled them a little bit, that goal. Early.
Oh, this is like... I had like a tiny bit of excitement for next season. I just don't
That's
anymore.
gone. That 4-0 against Liverpool is forgotten
Seeing
about.
Lindelof and Maguire.
Everyone's panicking over Lindelof and Maguire. They're going to have to announce Martinez straight away and get him playing in midfield.
It's going to be a stress, isn't it? Having these...
Yeah, need a few more signings. Get that Martinez in.
I do still think next season is going to be hard work.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, I think you look at the level of everyone else around us. Spurs have already improved. Liverpool have got a couple of players. I don't think they've improved because losing Sadio Mane. City have improved.
Go on, Fred.
It's that ball again,
isn't
it? It's that ball every time, though. Fred or McTominay. Yeah.
So all those teams have improved. You could, again, in the same way United last season was second, got a better squad and finished 6th. This season we could improve, even play better, and still only finish 5th or even stay where we are if everyone else gets better as well, which is a frightening thought as well.
It's the thing with football, though. Like, every single season, every team is trying to get better.
Yeah.
So, like... you could look at it that way and be like, oh dear.
And you need cycles to happen for a team to kind of break into it as well.
Yeah,
you looked at how Chelsea kind of dropped off when they lost that spine of players of Terry, Lampard and Drogba. They had a little bit of a drop off and then got back on it straight away. United obviously had that drop off after they lost their spine kind of went in 2013.
It's like Liverpool.
City had that slight drop off, but they replaced so well. Liverpool are nowhere near doing that yet because all their players are still there.
Look at what City have done this summer, right? They've just won the league, semi-finals of the Champions League.
Yeah.
They've gone out and bought the best striker in the world, one of the best young strikers in the world.
Yeah.
They're also getting rid of players that are on the fringes that they don't need anymore. They're revamping the squad before they need to revamp it.
Which is what United used to
Honestly,
do.
it's like there's never been a club that has had the oil money and been ran as well as City. And that's why I think it's worrying. Because obviously United competed with Chelsea in the 2000s who had all the money. But Chelsea are just ran so mentally. They're just it's just a crazy way to run a football club. Whereas Man City are ran very, very well. And I don't know. I don't like thinking about it, to be honest. But
no,
they're probably going to be here to stay. Unfortunately,
games settled a little bit now.
They're settling into it.
I do think, again, the first few minutes against Liverpool was chaos with how high the line was and everything. The United, I think that's what Ten Hag's going to do, though. I think we're going to see a lot of that in these pre-season games and going forward. That we're trying something different. We're going to be stepping up 10 yards higher than we ever have. There's Tom Heaton giving
Tom
the
Heaton's
ball away.
he's been taught to do that.
Yeah. Try things.
Can't do it.
No.
There we go. Oh, this is getting on his bonds.
Can you imagine we beat Liverpool 5-0 and then lose 5-0 to these? That would be pre-season.
Level things a little bit, wouldn't it?
A few empty seats. We could have got tickets, lads.
Oh, you're joking.
Could have popped over. The lads are there.
Mate, I can't survive in British sunshine.
It's not even hot. They had gloves and hats on warming up before.
Oh, well, it will do, won't
Jay's got his parka on.
Wouldn't it be winter there if it's summer here?
Winter air.
Watching them lot pack, by the way, for that pre-season tour was... Jay had the biggest parka of all time that he's taken him.
Good lad.
You're going to Thailand. It's going to be 35 degrees.
He's going to Norway as well, though.
He is going to... No, I think he's coming home before him, but he's going to Norway. But yeah, he was taking his parka. He said, I've got like 7 hoodies with me. I'm like, what do you mean?
Just in case.
And I think producer Callum was the first time he's been away for so long as well. and yeah, he was.
Oh, you slated him with those trackies.
Oh, you should have seen these trackies.
Why? What's he done?
He bought some grey Slazenger trackies from Sports Direct.
Yeah, for the plane.
No.
Everyone abused him for it.
They were the worst trackies you've ever seen.
Were they not just for the plane though?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, but he was also no.
That's
These
what I'm
were
saying.
Yeah.
They all bullied
You
him.
judge him more if he wears jeans.
They made him
for the
buy
flight.
more, like go and get some more shorts. I thought that's ridiculous.
He went and got some shorts. These were horrendous trackies.
Poor guy.
They were horrendous. Let's have a look.
this
We've
guy.
got some. Josh W. is a member for 8 months. Has said, "Do you think that Eric Ten Hag? Where's that? Gone? Do you think Eric Ten Hag realizes that Maguire will struggle with his style of playing high lines, but pressure from upstairs means he maybe has to play him?"
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
Do you think that Ten Hag realizes that Maguire might struggle with the high line, but pressure from upstairs means he has to play him?
No, not at all. Like it's his decision. I think it's very, very, very rare when there's pressure from upstairs on a manager to make decisions in the team. I'm sure it happens, but it will be like very high-profile players in games. It's not going to be Maguire. No way.
I don't think for the PR of Manchester United Football Club, playing Harry Maguire at the minute is any good.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think, for
Probably
as much as
damages
it's cost £80 million, every time you start Harry Maguire or mention that he's the captain, the PR around it from the Twitter fan base of Manchester United is horrific. And I think that he is becoming this memed player again, a lot like how Phil Jones was. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Manchester United are pressuring anyone to play anyone. I think there's this myth that you have to be a lightning fast centre-back to play a high line.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's good football there.
Go on.
Oh,
Would have been a
Alanga
lovely
with it.
goal.
Oh,
No, it's not the Euros final.
no. Martial, what
Look
a
at
touch.
this.
Go on.
referee.
No shout there. You know what I like about this kit? From this angle, it looks like the 1999 kit.
It does.
Yeah,
it
it
does.
does. Yeah.
When you watch it from this angle,
Yeah,
it
really
does.
You're actually spot on.
I think you go back to that high line. You look at City, they don't play with rapid centre-backs, but what they've got is two full-backs that are very, very quick and cover in.
Yeah.
And also they don't give the ball away half as much as United do.
Like Walker's pace in recovery is just...
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Maguire not having the pace is like not a good thing.
And also, I think Luke Shaw isn't the best recovering fullback, and I'm not sure Diogo Dalot is either. So again, I think that there's a lot of factors that make it. I do think
Problems with Luke Shaw is he's not a good recovering fullback, and his positioning is also terrible, so he has to recover a lot.
yeah, exactly, which is not ideal. And just the reason why I think that Malassi's been signed, that's one of the things he's even just watching those early moments of that last game, he trapped back a lot and really worked, and pushed up, but you never thought he's not going to get back there.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
I think we'll sign a right back. I
Yeah.
think it will happen at some point. When does the window even shut? Is it
think-
a bit different because of the World Cup and the
No, I think
changing at the end of the
I think
season?
it's gone back to it being like a week after the season starts again.
Okay.
Who do you reckon the right back will be? Do you reckon it'll be Walker Peters? I'd
like that.
I would love that. mate.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who we were linked with today?
If we can
Chelsea
get
are
honestly
linked with
right,
him as well.
if and I know this might seem a bit.
Yeah, the wing back.
This might seem a bit pipe dreamy here, but like Martinez is done, so done. But Frankie, Ericsson, Anthony, and Walker Peters. I know that is a
all
pipe
of
dream. That is asking too much. I get it. If all those happened, I would be very, very pumped for the new
Would you?
season.
I'd be happy with just Ericsson, De Jong, and Martinez coming through now. I think that it makes that. And you have to have no outgo. I think if we lost Cristiano Ronaldo with that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
exactly,
you'd have to
exactly.
stay for
I
that.
agree.
if you keep Ronaldo, I think you've got enough to have a good team there. I still think we should be looking at strengthening in January then for forwards and stuff like that. But I think we can get by with that.
Look at
team
Martial
and look good.
working, man. Martial just committed a
Massive
foul.
change. I've never seen that.
Never seen
before.
Martial commit a foul ever.
We've
Look at that
got
chair.
Max Aaron's over Walker Peters is one of the comments. Guys, we've got nearly 3,000 watching and only 400 likes. Can we get to 1,000 likes in the next 5 minutes? That's achievable.
If we get to 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying anything.
We had Joe McGrath trying to make up things. The other
I'm
day.
not
He
saying
put a
anything.
slit in my eyebrow
Oh,
midway
eat
through the
that.
stream last. You're going to eat the shuttlecock. The look. That's by the
Oh,
way, up
yeah.
there. If you watch the last stream, Joe McGrath just pulled the shuttlecock out of his bag midway through it and said, "This
Pulled
is
his
the
cock
look."
out?
No,
Right? Oh.
no, different stream.
Okay.
The lucky shuttlecock. So that's staying there until we lose. And considering we're 1-0
good
down,
start.
that might be gone within in the next hour or so. Anyway,
This might be the start of an Invincibles season.
the Shuttlecock Invincibles.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, imagine that. Imagine getting like T-shirts pre-season next year. United win the league without losing.
You're saying if
just
the
a
vid gets
Shuttlecock on a
2,000 likes,
t-shirt.
Frankie will sign on
Invincibles.
Monday.
What's that?
We
If
haven't
the video
talked
gets
about
2,000 likes,
De
Frankie
Jong
will
yet.
sign on Monday.
Do you what do you think? Do you think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Do you think he wants to come? Because Steve, I've been chatting to Steve a bit about this. Obviously, from what you read, he wants to stay at Barcelona. But Steve reckons it's because he's owed money, so he has to say he wants to stay. Do you know what I mean? Because if he says he wants to leave, he gives all the bargaining power to Barcelona, who then might not end up paying him the money that he's owed. But do you actually just reckon he wants to stay? Because the longer it's going on, the longer I think he just doesn't want to. And I don't want to sign a player who doesn't want to be here. I just don't. It's happened too much at United, like over the last 9 years, where we've signed like Sanchez, for example. You can give him a big wage and convince him to play for us because of that. But players that just don't want to be there, it just causes toxicity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just worry that, we might have another situation.
I'm not sure
like
about it.
that.
I think the Di Maria thing happened so quickly where they went, we're selling you, Di Maria, we've had this offer from Man United, and you're going now. And it happened so quickly that they didn't really have the option to say no. Whereas this Frankie de Jong deal has gone on for so long. There's the connection between de Jong and Erik ten Hag. I just don't think it's possible for you to go this long down the line and not have an inkling of he fancies it a little bit. He's given some kind of indication to Ten Hag came out and said he's not spoken to the player. Rubbish. He's definitely, there's been a text flying around.
Yeah.
He's spoken to someone through, someone's spoken to him via someone else. He's gone, do you fancy it? And he's gone, look, I've got to get this money.
Great play.
Yo.
Oh, really good, United. Really good.
Good football there. But I think that I don't think he wants to leave. I think he wanted to stay at Barcelona. I think, you sign at such an early age to what was your dream club.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big
Playing
thing.
along,
That's his
and at the
dream
time
club
you're
as
playing
well.
alongside Messi and all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden, Messi's gone. There's all these money problems. They've asked you, can you just, that 17 million 30 million we're going to pay you a year. We're going to make 15 of that. We'll pay it later on. Don't worry about that. And then all of a sudden, they're selling you, and he goes, well, what about that money you owe me? And they go, nah, it's all right. You're going now.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Sounds about right. That could very well be true.
Yeah.
I often think there are because there's so much money involved now in football. There are certain legal things that we might not even be aware of that are happening.
100%.
And I wouldn't believe everything you read about him wanting to stay at Barcelona. That sounds like it makes a lot of sense. To be fair, he's going to want the money that he's owed, isn't he? And and also I think that this idea of you don't want players who don't want to come to the club. I mean, I get that if the player has outright said, I don't want to come to this club. I don't think it's that. I just think he would rather be at Barcelona and then want him there.
Yeah.
But they don't want him.
And are you telling me that Sergio Aguero was completely sold on going to Manchester City?
Of course
11 years
not.
ago? He was like, Manchester City's my dream club. I've got to go there. No, and he went there, got sold on a project and said, look, it's going to take some time, but you will be one of the main parts of this.
Got sold on a project.
That's what it will be. Mm-hmm. Now, the one question is, you're going away from Barcelona in the Champions League. It's not the Barcelona of old. You're not playing in the best team in the world now. But it's still in the Champions League. It's still his dream club. You can still, and also, people forget the human element of maybe he likes living in Barcelona.
Yeah,
he likes it there,
100%.
and it's not just a case of moving to Manchester, but just packing up and moving to another country. Must be like, I wasn't fancying this
some
summer.
sunny bar.
There's a big question about that.
Us lot now, us three obviously, but I feel like everyone watching this live stream right now, we love Man United so much.
Yeah.
And it's almost hard for us to get the concept into our heads that not every player we sign is going to love Manchester United to the extent that we do. Put yourself in them shoes if you were a footballer and let's say you were playing for, I don't know, Bolton Wanderers and AC Milan come in for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to be buzzing to go to AC Milan, but it's not going to be. You're not going to have the same love for AC Milan as you do to Manchester United. No. That's how these players feel coming to us.
And you look at all these signings that happen now. The amount of players that are boyhood clubs of X, Y, and Z and end up going to these teams. Going back, Jamie Carragher was an Everton fan. He's now a Liverpool. One of their biggest
Got an Everton
legends.
tattoo.
you've got Jordan Henderson was a United fan growing up, is now captain
Raheem
of Liverpool
Sterling,
Football
United
Club.
fan.
John
Raheem
Terry's
Sterling.
United fan.
Yeah.
All these players were United fans growing up and didn't get, got sold on what they were doing, and they ended up in that club and whatever. It's a big thing.
It sounds mad, this, right? To explain to people, but like, 'cause I'm not a professional footballer, obviously. But like, as a professional footballer, your career comes before your love for a certain team sometimes. And you can have a player who grew up a Man United fan, but if Man City are offering them a clear plan to get into their first team, to win trophies, and that's better than what Man United are offering them, which seems to be the case in the last few years, they're going to go to Manchester City.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, that's heartbreaking to hear, but you'd probably do the same if you were a professional footballer and you were brought up in the environment.
It's their profession, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you've got like massive egos like you do in professional sport, that's a massive thing, isn't it? You don't want to just... It's very rare. It's like Gerrard, for example. Obviously, he stayed at Liverpool, supposedly, and he had options to go other places. But, like, most players would just leave, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Most players would.
Yeah, and it's this whole thing of, these guys don't just... It shouldn't just be a quick decision. Players shouldn't just move around all the time.
Look how tight all those players
Yeah,
are
it
in
is.
the
It's
box.
crazy.
They're
this was
very compactly.
It's a very, very different game. Liverpool obviously pushed a lot higher up, and you saw United have a bit of joy there. But this is a bit of a test for this lot against a team that's going to sit back a little bit more and do this. And again, they're going to have to get used to this because a lot of teams are going to do this all season to Manchester United.
Looks, the way that we, just the types of passes that we're doing and everything does look very different, doesn't it? To last season, like
it looks a bit sharper, doesn't it?
It
looks like fizzing the ball about a little bit more.
Well, my main worry is that obviously we're trying a lot of things and there's a few passes that are going astray, which that we're going to expect. That ball constantly. Yeah, that is great. That ball to the sort of full back up. Coming in, McTominay.
McTominay the shot.
Arriving late, McTominay. Yeah, that's his new role.
You're right. That diagonal pass out to the fullback, who either plays one across the box or does what he does there and cut back. I do think, I think we've seen that a lot, even in that Liverpool game. I think we've seen that in those training session clips that went all over the place, with that working on the right hand side and kind of either going down the line, cutting back. I think that's going to be one of the things we see a lot of. And
my main worry is what we saw for the first goal is we're still going to be susceptible on the break, and we're going to have a lot of teams breaking on us next season.
We still can't take King corners.
But maybe Martinez is the fixture.
That set piece coach is still there as well. Have you seen him? He's on the bench. He was on the bench during the Liverpool game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's done well for himself, hasn't he? Considering he scored one goal from a set piece, or two with the Tellez one. You can't count the Tellez one because it was a cross and he's pinged it in from 25 yards and we counted as a set piece.
I feel like
goal.
there might have been another one then there as
well. There was two
calls. Ronaldo got
Maguire
one.
we scored against Tottenham towards the end of the season as well. Got a header.
Scored one against Norwich. I swear Tellez got an assist from a corner against Norwich. Or am I going mad?
No, we definitely, because we didn't
definitely had
from
the
a corner
Leeds one.
for ages.
The Leeds one was the one that broke the back of it.
Yeah.
And then there was the Tottenham game. But yeah, it's the quality of the crosses as well that frustrates me sometimes. The amount of time the keeper catches it or it just misses everyone.
He's probably on a fat contract, isn't he? So they've got to keep him around.
I don't know. Wasn't he McKenna's mate? Wasn't he? Or they went to Loughborough together. That was the big thing. That was where they kind of got him in from.
It didn't work out, did it?
Jamie Burton said, Tellers did get an assist. I had him in FPL. So there you go. You were right. Nice. I think he definitely did get one. Almost 5:30 a.m. in Chicago. Fair play for getting up to watch this.
Yeah, I rate that. Getting up
Windy
in Chicago
City
to watch United play in Australia, hey? That's mad. Good on you.
Let's have a look. Surely Rashford comes right. I think Rashford, you'll see him in the second half. I'm hoping he has a good season.
They're playing a bit like how we played under Ollie at times.
Yeah. Olivia's asked, it's important for the lads to be 1-0 down. It enables them to try different solutions and think creatively. It's especially important for later during the season.
I agree.
Yeah, we're not going to win every game 4-0. We're not going to play Liverpool every week, are we? So,
sacking it in. Selling my season ticket.
Let's have a look what else we've got. I think Darren's lying. It's May as well. It's 11:30 here in Antarctica. I think he's lying there. I don't think he's watching Antarctica, but We've got people all over the
Prove it.
over the place. Danielle's asked, "Can I get a shout out?" No, you can't. I'm in Chicago too, and I never went to sleep, staying up through the night
Legend.
to watch Manchester United and to watch us, legends. We're nearly at 1,000 likes, about 250 to go. Can we get over the line? There's nearly 3,000.
Oh, here we go. Go on.
It's ball through.
Oh, it's got
good
to go.
save.
It's got to go.
Is that a ball through to, was it Bruno there?
No, we got the ball referee.
Fred not very happy. Really good save there from the goalkeeper.
Does the chevron mean anything on Melbourne's kit, or is it just to signify a V for victory?
Don't know. Oh,
Curious.
yeah.
But it's in the badge though, isn't it?
Gotta
The Melbourne Victory badge has got it as well.
V for Fitch got it. Good save, that.
Good save from Izzo.
Strong palm.
H to the Izzo.
Alanga not really got into the game much this, has he? He's I think he had a poor end to the season after everything. I think he got overplayed last season a lot.
He did get overplayed, and it's not the ideal way to get a youngster in. Some of them it works out, like Rashford, Martial as well, but like you don't want to just be chucking players in.
Mitchell said yes, it's a V for victory. Patrick said it means please keep 2 cars distance.
Do you remember when we had one on our 2010 kit?
Yeah, we did.
Again, I like them kits, but the problem is we didn't win anything. I think it's one of those like
that was a season when that Drogba offside goal won them the
cost
league.
us.
So
it was the Michael Owen goal against City though.
Was that season?
Yeah, it was that season. Because it was the year after Ronaldo left.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
It was Owen.
Owen had that one. Yeah.
And was it Valencia as well that summer?
We've got someone watching from Cyprus here, Zambia. It's mad how people are up early, up or wherever, watching this.
Go on,
Martial.
and
All that in it. What's Big Tony doing?
Big Gaz. Big Gaz. Get Big Gaz on.
Yeah, get him on.
What colour was your penguin?
I think. I mean, it must
We're
have been.
back to this.
It must have been red. It must have been.
Really, yeah.
It must have been. Oh, that's
go on, then.
lovely. Keep it in.
Still in.
Clearance.
What a ball. What do you think of Bruno, number 8?
Why not?
He's always wanted it, hasn't he? He wanted it when he got there, but he was never taking it off Mata. I don't know. I liked 18.
He's got the tattoo, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I did like him in 18.
I've got a real problem with squad numbers, mate.
Do you?
I just hate how random they are nowadays. I think they should go by certain rules. But I'm going to ask. Well, yeah, I'm going to ask you this, and this is what always causes an argument with me with people. Right? If you're laying out your ideal squad numbers, what's the back 4?
Oh,
go on. What's the back? Go from right to left. Go on,
in
numbers.
my head,
right?
It was. And it's changed the last few years. I always went 2, 5, 6, 3.
Correct.
That's
correct.
The number 6 has only been a midfielder for the last year or two.
Spot on.
That for me. It was all. I think. Do you know what it was?
Do you agree?
Because it was.
Yeah.
I used
to be a centre back. I used to have number 6.
Was Jaap Stam number 6? I think he was.
Number 6 or 5, wasn't he?
I think him and Jonson were 5 and 6. So in my head, that's your back 4. You had Gary Neville number 2, Dennis Irwin number 3, Stam and Jonson.
See, now for me, weirdly, it was for a different reason. I just always picture a defensive midfielder wearing number 4, and I feel
and it being Veron being the number 4 as well. That's the other one.
2006 World Cup. I weirdly think this came from where Owen Hargreaves had like the best tournament ever, and I just kind of felt like, I don't know, number 4 just feels right.
4's a midfield number.
People going left to right, 3, 4, 5, 2. Someone saying
incorrect.
Then Sergio Ramos is 4, isn't he?
Incorrect, though.
No,
well, he was
number 4 is a centre-back number. People are saying, see, people are arguing this.
It is a recent.
But I think this is only recent.
Number 6 is a centre-back.
You know what I've
100%.
also heard? I've heard that it's a European British thing as well. It's more of a British thing to have 5 or 6 as the 5 and 6 as the centre-backs.
Yeah.
Which if I was like 9 and 10 centre-half. Always has been in my
just illegal.
It's like when
Eto'o being number 3. Oh, number 2 for Everton was ridiculous.
Didn't William Gallas wear 10?
Yeah.
No, you can't have it. No chance.
No chance. Or if you're going to go mental, just go full mental and have like the goalkeeper wearing 2 or something.
Yeah, you actually like throw people. And up top, number 1.
Oh my God.
Wayne Rooney. What? Number 1?
It's just like stuff like McTominay wearing 39. I don't even know if there's a meaning behind it, but grow up, mate.
Palace and Bruce for 4 and 5, though. That's the definitive. That's a good shout. Chris Smalling, 12.
You what?
David May.
David May was number 4, but he's a centre-back.
I know, but
I don't know.
to me, in my head, number 4's midfielder.
Yeah, 6 centre-back people saying that.
Who was 6?
Someone saying
When we
6 a
had
deep midfielder. Yeah, we
Ferdinand
understand the
and Vidic.
term a number 6. I've heard that 4 million times now.
We're talking about the literal
But the number
on their back.
I don't think it should be.
It'd be very
I'm
confusing
agree.
for someone who just like wasn't familiar. And
Yeah.
You're like, right, you're playing in the number 6, and then you look at his number and he's
I think
number
people.
15.
Someone said here, 16 is now always going to be defensive midfield. I think for United fans because you had
Yeah.
Keno and then Carrick. Carrick obviously very very different, but
Still.
16 is going to look weird if it's on a left winger or something now. And who is Ahmad got 16 or something this year? Ahmad's got 16.
Weird.
Wrong for United. He should have been told, no, sorry, you can't have that.
What's Lindelof?
Lindelof's 2. I don't mind that. I'm not a huge fan of it.
No, I'll tell you what I don't like. Luke Shaw signing, getting the number 3 and then switching to 23. What are you doing,
No,
mate?
yeah, I don't.
Oh, no.
I tell you, it'd be interesting. You know when
Lindelof recovered
you
well
know when
there.
United wore the old kit for the 50th anniversary of the Munich air disaster.
Yeah.
What were the centre backs wearing that day? Because that was 1 to 11.
Was it?
No,
Yeah.
did they go 1 to
No,
11?
I
Yeah,
didn't
they
know
did. They did. They went 1 to 11. I'm
Spurs are
sure
allowed to
they
do
did.
that.
I didn't think
I
they
don't
were
think
allowed
they
to
did,
do
did
that.
they?
Surely
they
they just had
did.
the normal numbers.
No, they. I think they did.
I try to forget that day because that was the season we got beat by them
Yeah,
twice.
it was like
wasn't it?
3-1,
We
wasn't it?
won the double, didn't we?
Yeah.
But still,
Was it 3-1 that day?
I can't remember.
It's a bit hectic now, this game, isn't it?
Just no space,
and-
is there,
no.
for the midfielders? It's
Edgar Davids is number 1 at Barnet.
yeah, he was. He was.
That just sounds so weird. Edgar Davids was number 1
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Barnet.
That's another one.
I don't see that. If you've goalkeeper, you've got a short sleeve shirt, you can wear whatever number you want, can't you? Yeah, if you've got a short sleeve shirt goalkeeper, you can wear number 7 if
You're
you want to
clearly
and get away
mental,
with it.
so
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. Let's have a look what else we've got. Zamorano had 1+8 because he wanted to be number 9. It wasn't available.
I
Like
saw
that.
That was disgraceful.
Ronaldinho was 80 at AC Milan. I remember that quite well.
Some mad
El
numbers.
Shaarawy. What does he got like 77 or something like that.
Something ridiculous.
Like, come on, man. Stop it.
Buffon's
just-
88.
Well,
That's-
he's not. He's like
yeah, but what's his
42,
shirt
I
number?
think.
Hey.
Come on.
I know he's knocking on a bit. When Italy won the World Cup in 2006, I thought Buffon was like 35.
Yeah.
And he's still
And
going
he's still
now.
playing.
Donnarumma 99.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but PSG is just a bit of a joke anyway. So
Anyone ever had a 3-digit number? I don't think you can have 3 digits.
you
Surely you
can't.
can't.
depends how big your squad is.
Usain Bolt does at Soccer Aid.
Yeah.
He has 9.58, doesn't he?
That was all right the first time they did it.
Yeah,
But
it's kind
like,
of-
why does it have to happen every year now? It's a long time ago that now. Like, we know who Usain Bolt
We
is.
get it, mate. You're rapid.
Oh,
Fred scored a goal, so now he's having a shot again.
No, Fred has a right-footed outside the box shot every game.
I
I
like the
said
socks.
this.
I like the socks.
Fred scoring that one worldie every 6 months is never good, I don't think, because he now goes, I can do this.
Mate, I got a job because of Fred. Honestly.
How?
So
Go
like
on.
last season, so I work for Radio Manchester, and obviously we do updates on like Man United games. And I was like begging them, like really wanted to do updates for a game, and I really wanted to do updates. And they finally let me have a go. So I was going to Old Trafford. I was in the media section, I was buzzing. I had all the equipment set up, dead excited. And I had a line in my head for if Fred scored, because it was at the start of Ranić when Fred had just started to sort of improve a little bit and everyone was slagging him off. And he scored that worldie
He did score
against
that.
Palace.
Yeah.
And I literally just had it in my head and I just went out of it and I just went, Fred, he scored. It's a red Fred redemption at Old Trafford.
Yes.
And from that one line, I got the job this season as like
Brilliant.
the
There you
main
go.
person
Yep.
doing updates on United.
That's
so Fred,
brilliant.
thank you, mate.
Thank you.
What a line.
It's the only one I had prepared.
You're looking at a shelf with like old Xbox games on, and you were
That's the
thinking,
one. Come on, Fred, get a goal for today.
I had another one which I never got a chance to do, but I'm kind of glad because thinking back, it would have been terrible.
Go
Well, I
on.
think it was like the last game before Christmas, and I really wanted Ronaldo to score, so I could go, oh, it's Ronaldo. never forget Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas, and time it perfectly. So I go, is Sue.
What, the crowd?
Yeah, I wanted to time it spot on.
Oh, can you imagine, like, you just couldn't hear it? And it was just like, all I want for Christmas is...
Why is he on quiet?
Goal for Ronaldo. That's brilliant.
Someone's got United versus City 2008, defending numbers 2, 3, 4 and 5.
Okay.
So...
Oh, right, okay.
I think we might be wrong, but it still
makes
looks
sense,
wrong.
Though, that, like, historically it was 4-5.
It does.
It goes up in numbers, doesn't it?
It's all objective. You
Yeah.
can't be
Go
wrong.
on.
Shoot.
Oh. I'll tell you,
Corner.
they're going to be hard to
Sancho.
score against. They're defending
Yeah, they are
very
sitting back.
compact and in numbers.
Good effort by Sancho with that one. It's been a very, very different game. I think we were 3-0 up at this point against Liverpool. But no, they're sitting back.
Ten Hag out.
Ten Hag out.
Does anyone in the comments know anything about Melbourne Victory? Like who their best player is?
I'll
Nani.
just wait and see.
Apart
Wait and
from
see
Nani.
everyone coming out. We should bring on Nani. We can't bring on Nani unless you're talking about Melbourne
Can we
Victory.
bring on Nani?
Oh, we should sign him to
Yeah.
replace Ronaldo.
It's not a proper pre-season game because they're not doing daft things like swapping people out. Remember when Bartes played up front for
Who?
a game? Bartes for United played
You're
up front in a
joking.
pre-season game. That was when they proper didn't.
And Ferguson allowed that.
I do not remember that at all.
Bartes
What?
came on
I have no memory
outfield.
of
Why?
At
I've
all.
never seen that.
I'll find this picture. There's
He came on
definitely-
up front.
Yep.
Did he play all right?
I don't think so.
Surely not.
He was short, wasn't he,
Yeah,
Bartes?
yeah.
How tall was Bartes?
He was small.
I want to say he was about my height or smaller.
Uh-oh. Lindelof and Maguire tracking back again.
Here we go. Look, Bartes playing outfield in a pre-season game.
Who's that against?
Look at that. Can I get the can the camera focus on that? Ethan, on mine?
What was
No,
Fergie
no
up
chance.
to? Was Fergie just like...
I bet he wasn't there.
I think it was like the first
Was
game
it?
of the season. They've just gone, sod it. Bartes, outfielder, madness. People going, you guys, the match. It's 1-0 down. Melbourne Victory. I'm going to talk about absolute nonsense. Let's have a look. Verona debut, I think. It might have been the game. Let's have a look what else there. Don't forget Fergie and Phelan playing on pre-season in Bermuda. Don't know what year that
Right,
was.
what? I don't know
What's going on here?
What's this? What? What?
I'm going to need some more context for that, Jamie. You need to let us know when that was. Was that in the 80s?
It's got to be a charity game.
Was that a
When
charity
Phelan
game?
was a coach.
It wasn't 99, was it?
It'd be like 2007.
Remember that Patrick Cassidy said, remember David James played up front for City in an actual competitive game.
Yeah, that
Stuart
was-
Pearce needed a goal. Who'd I bring on? Not the other striker, David
Who
James.
was that? I can't remember who the other striker was now. But that other striker, we've had him on the show before, and I think that they were just so wound up. So wound
He
up.
should have come on in goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fucking stupid, man.
David saying Bartes went into pro racing.
I think I have heard that, actually. I've heard that one.
I know that he used to smoke at half time, which is just ridiculous.
Fire alarm goes off.
Smoke
He's
what?
a keeper, though.
Watching his
All
performances, I
sorts.
don't know what he's smoking.
Yeah, exactly. Ed Tees, there's a lot of people asking about Garner. Garner was still training alone as of Wednesday, so I'm not expecting to see James Garner. Hopefully, you see him next week because, again, big hope for him this season with him coming back in and us not actually having any new midfielders as of yet. So let's have a look.
Come on, Bruno, have a pop.
You got is that a corner? Free kick.
Ooh, the pace on it.
Good ideas.
Oh my god.
Fred's just flipped one up and tried a volley from outside.
That's left-footed as well.
That's not happy. Just said if that's
He's not
Pereira,
happy.
that would have got
He's not happy.
a cut of Ten Hag. Not looking.
Do you remember,
Happy
Mitchell
stuff.
van der Gag? The
Yeah.
Do you remember when everyone was like, they looked so similar, no one knew who was who? I think now Ten Hag has a beard and Van der Gag doesn't, so we can actually tell
like,
who's who now.
It's like when was it McKenna? No,
Yeah, he looked like
Phil Neville.
yeah.
At first, I was like,
You got Phil Neville back.
Phil Neville's still there. I was like, what's going on?
That's actually so true. Forgot about
There we go
Which is
again.
such an insult as well
Yeah.
because he doesn't. He looks like a better looking version of Phil Neville.
that. Poor Phil Neville.
I know, yeah. Good God, what an unfortunate face. But a nice man.
Is he? He's still into Miami, boss, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I tell you what.
Living the dream
Didn't he do well to get that job, Phil Neville?
Yeah.
He must have interviewed really well.
Must have known someone.
Yeah.
MLS is weird. It's just, but again, that job is
Interesting.
Wish
Rooney
my mate
going
was
out
back.
there.
yeah.
I wish-
Can I go live in Miami for a bit and just go and play? Like Beckham's kid plays for like the under 23s as well, and you're just like,
Scored a worldie, to be fair.
Yeah.
See at the free kick.
yeah.
Made me feel very old.
So does Phil Neville's lad. How have you know?
Oh,
he's
well, that's
good,
a bit
apparently.
offside, isn't it, Martial?
Got to knock it in and it'll. Yes, Lino.
Let's have a look at these. So they played against Somerset in 1987. That was Fergie and Phelan.
Somerset.
That's not. We need to get some.
Somerset.
Pictures.
Who are they?
Somerset don't have a team. It's bloody Shrewsbury, isn't it?
Nah.
We're going to see Phil Neville versus Wayne Rooney in the MLS dugouts next season. You surprised Rooney's gone there? To DC United?
I'm very surprised.
I'm surprised, but I thought about Gaz. You mentioned it earlier about players actually.
That is Fergie playing football.
You
for
can't, it's
Manchester
not a really
Hold
a
the
great.
convo.
It's not a great shot, this, but you can see there that is Fergie. Let me just zoom in a bit.
Like it?
Yeah. He's in the white there. That's Fergie. There,
Yeah.
Fergie playing for Manchester
brilliant.
United. Incredible.
That's
Madness.
brilliant. But yeah, with Rooney,
Someone said Somerset in Bermuda, not
the
Somerset,
British county.
not the no.
Very different
Somerset
places. I
cricket
imagine.
team.
Let's have a
There's
look.
Miranda.
Got another super chat in here
Looks
saying, from Pam John saying, should football be like American sports where clubs can transfer players without their consent as long as the wages are covered?
No.
No, I just don't think the whole system's different. Good
Great.
crossing.
Oh my God, what was that? 50p head
I
over
know.
it. Jesus.
We've still not got anyone
Someone,
who likes to head the ball, do we?
I saw recently someone that someone put something which I thought was very accurate about American and British sports. We invent sports. The rest of the world joins in those sports,
Yeah.
and is also subsequently better at us than these sports that we've invented.
Yeah.
Whereas America invents sports, nobody else in the world wants to play them, so therefore you're world champions.
Yeah, it's so weird how they do that.
It looks
World
like United are maybe going to make 10 changes at half time again, which is going to be,
That's
it's
so
standard
funny.
pre-season. So it looks like we're going to see. I'll wait for this attack to end and we'll go through those players it looks like and we'll try and figure out what the 11's going to be off that.
Ferguson and Phelan are coming.
Ferguson and Field are coming on. But yeah, the subs warming up. We've got Zidane, Iqbal and Charlie Savage look like they're playing midfield again, which is good to see. I thought Zidane, Iqbal was amazing
Got a
in
lot
that
of
first
praise,
game.
didn't he?
Go on.
Really did.
Oh, it's looping.
Hey!
Hey! What a goal! It's not going to count.
It's not.
It
it's
does
not a goal.
count.
It does
Is it
count.
counting?
Scott McTominay. We've now got McTominay and Fred scored chips from outside the box for Manchester United.
What a finish.
Who doesn't rate him? The mint.
What a finish.
Let's have a look. People
That's
say, how did that go in?
Very lucky deflection.
Let's have a look. Was it a bit of a deflection, that one?
Yeah, it went
Bit.
under someone. Did you just look up and see it? In
Yeah,
the
I just
goal?
saw it.
He's got lucky there.
Yeah, massive deflection.
Is that
Is it come off a
it's
United
come off
player? or-
Sancho, I think.
Let's have a look here. So Scott McTominay wins it on the edge of the box, which is good. It looks like because of Martial or Luke's over the goalkeeper there. Let's have a look at the...
I still can't tell.
Can't
That's
tell.
going so
It could have
wide.
been- I think Martial claims that if it is off him. Absolutely.
You would do,
Yeah, you definitely would. 1-1. Manchester United equalise. That helps things a little bit. Let's try and go through these players that are coming on then. So it looks like Iqbal and Savage will be in midfield. Donny van der Beek will probably come on and play in the number 10. Tellez and Bailly coming on again. So that, I'm guessing, is going to be the centre midfielders again. You've then got Laird and Malacia. So we're going to hopefully see Ethan Laird in the second half. You've then got Marcus Rashford, Amad Diallo and Tahith Chong are going to come on in the second half. So a little bit different to the change. No Palestra this time coming on. No Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We are going to see Ethan Laird, which I'm excited to see because, again,
So
big question marks this season over right back.
How many are on the bench?
All of them.
So, like, and how many is that? Like 15
15
16.
players, something like that.
Okay.
So I don't know whether he's going to give a full 45 minutes to these guys again and not do anything.
see.
Got a couple of super chats. Jamie Burton, who was talking about the feeling, it was Googled it. It was Fergie Knox not feeling expat on the bench. Fergie played for St Mirren in pre-season, subbed on, sent off for taking someone out. Class.
Do you reckon he served that ban yet?
Tom Fox, is this your mate? No.
No. I used
No.
to live above
I
Spicy
used to live
Bites in Lemdre. Yeah, I'm from Leamington in the Midlands, so Spicy, I don't even know what that is.
Spicy Bites, you're not sure.
Where is that? Is that... Yeah, well.
We've got a super chat or a members chat from Abhinav Verma, who's a member for 16 months. Thank you so much to all our members. Saying Dutch media saying Ajax haven't sent official paperwork for Martinez. Deal is greater than 55 million euros. They're saying Romano doesn't know crap. I think it's not just Romano. There's a lot of really established journalists that have gone with that. This is all done. I think the deal's all done. I just think it's a case of they're going to probably wait until after the weekend or something to confirm it and figure out all the stuff to get him over onto pre-season. So, again, nothing to
Who's that about?
panic. That's about Martinez saying it's not done.
Martinez
It's definitely
is
done.
man. It's
Definitely done. There's no chance that one falls through.
And-
Ball through to Diogo Dalot.
I know.
Go on.
Fall to Martial.
Yeah.
Get in.
What
goal.
I was just about to say. I was
You gotta
literally-
say it now.
I was literally just about to say then. I realised the crosses into him haven't been great, but Martial has been useless in the air today. And he didn't score a header, but
He's
still,
taking it down.
He's got the goal.
Look, pre-season is pre-season, but you've got your centre forward he's our only centre forward at this moment in time, scoring goals. It's important to see that. Good football again. Diogo Dalot pushing forward. Good pull-back cross into
Nice.
there. Elanga
Nah,
does well.
Lovely from Martial as well, to be fair.
A lot coming down the right-hand side, which has been the opposite of Manchester United for the last few years, where I feel like we've not scored a goal coming off the right-hand side for the last 3 seasons. It's all come down the left, so good to see that.
Definitely settled down a bit. I was a bit worried after the first 10 minutes. 2-1 up again.
No panic. No panic.
Still
The
unbeaten.
shuttlecock's up there. It's a lucky shuttlecock. We're going to...
Do we not take that down now?
No.
Oh.
We've got to win. Stay there. Josh Bittles put a super chat in. Thank you very much for your support. I love both clubs, but I'm incredibly proud of my home club so far. Hopefully a few United fans respect the quality of the A-League and give it a watch. Melbourne Victory is a very special club. Really good to see. Thank you for your support, Josh. If you are out there, make sure you are trying to find the guys. They'll be in and around the stadium. They'll be in and around Melbourne for the next couple of days. That is half-time. 2-1 to Manchester United. Calms everyone down a little bit, even though after the crazy start that happened. Looks like we're going to see a lot of changes. I think only Tom Heaton's going to come out for the second half for Manchester United. But first half, what did we make of that then?
I mean, going forward, there was plenty to be. It was very different. Let's try it that way. They were trying different things that we've seen last season, and I think that was so evident. Wasn't a lot of space for them going forward, but the quick hit passing play in that little space was quite impressive at times. Anthony Martial, he wasn't getting a lot in the air at first, but that's not where his expertise lie. Felt like they were asking a lot of him. Took his goal really well. I'm happy that there's real positives, but the way that we conceded that goal was concerning for me, because I do kind of feel like we're going to have teams breaking on us like that a lot next season.
Yeah. I agree with that. I do think we're going to have that. But I think if you look at how Ten Hag's played a lot of his, I think he kind of wants that bit of chaos. He wants his full-backs pushing up. He wants his centre-backs pushing up. And there's going to be times when people get in behind. Look, I think people are going to highlight Maguire, and I think it was definitely Maguire and Lindelof and Shaw were kind of out of position, way too high for that goal. This isn't defensive, either of them, but I think we're going to see a lot of that. Whether it's Maguire playing, Martinez playing, I don't think that's going to change. But I do think you saw there, Maguire, 4 minutes into playing, hasn't played any football yet, looked really slow and really rusty, and I think that's going to...
Which
it's going to highlight...
Yeah.
It's going to highlight things.
So early in pre-season, don't have a go at them too much.
Dre, Anthony Martial, 2 goals in 2 games. 2 goals in 90 minutes, essentially.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Of course, it's good to see. Like we hinted at earlier, he might be our number 9 going into next season if nothing's done with Ronaldo or we haven't replaced him. So, of course, it's good to see. But I think you touched on it there, guys. Defensively, a bit worrying still. there was a few moments there, like the goal where you thought, oh no, can you imagine Lindelof and Maguire like getting, balls put in behind them? But there was a, good little bit of play up for they made it hard for us, Melbourne. Yep. They defended very well and very tight, but United seemed calm on the ball, and instead of kind of rushing into things, they were quite happy to just keep it and break them down, and they got the 2 goals from it. So
yeah, we've seen a lot of that little clip pass from either Fred, McTominay or Bruno out to either Dalot or Sancho right on the touchline on that right-hand side, and then it either being... We saw the goal there where Dalot's kind of cut it across. We've seen a couple of times where they've kind of dropped it back. It's nice to... Again, this was one of the big criticisms from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the criticisms of Rangnick. We never really saw any patterns of play in the final third. We saw us sitting back at times. We saw us pressing at times under both managers. But we didn't see... You couldn't say what's a typical Manchester United goal, whereas I've seen 3 goals so far that have all come from the right-hand side, have all come from a clip pass out and then a cut back and a cross all down that right-hand side. That's exciting to see. It's exciting to see that that's working because, again, that's something we saw in those early training session clips with that Rashford. It was a header at the back post, but kind of working into that space, kind of edge of the 18-yard box on the right-hand side, putting a cross in or challenging or slipping someone through like Dalot did in that last goal. It's good to see that looks like some of this is working.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's what I said about things looking different. And I'm hesitant to say things like, oh, it looks so much better already, because it's going to take a while before they actually get their heads around it exactly. But it does look different, and at the minute, from what we see, it looks slightly better. You can clearly see that what Ten Hag wants to do is absolutely dominate games, innit? Dominate games. And what we'll often see is, like I said then, what I was critical of almost, is we'll often see teams get 1 or 2 chances against them, but actually it'd be a really big chance for them because of the way that we're so high up.
I think the one thing that is kind of the real positive going to all of this is that, we're playing this 4-2-3-1 formation that Ten Hag seems to like. That's something that most of these players are used to. They're not getting moved. You saw when Rangnick first came in, they were moving players drastically out of position. These guys are going into a system that they're comfortable with. Yes, playing slightly differently, maybe slightly more on the front foot, playing slightly different things. But that maybe is what filling me with a bit more confidence, is you're asking Anthony Martial to do a little bit more work, but in the attacking situations, same as what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had you doing. Jadon Sancho, he's playing that right-hand side. That's what everyone saw him doing. Rashford and Elanga, you're going to be that one stretching the left-hand side of the pitch. That's what you're going to do, and that's what we have been doing. It's just maybe refining that and being a little bit better at it, and hopefully, again, adding extra players in here, there, and everywhere to make the quality overall better. But I'm hoping that all those things mean that this transition to a new manager is quicker, and we've seen the likes of Anthony Martial get back up to hopefully the levels they were at 2 seasons ago.
What do you think about Martial, though? Can he do it?
I just think... I think you are definitely right to ask, because it's almost a bit of hope that he can do it. He has shown, like there was that season we were mentioning earlier where he got 16, 17 goals. But that's the only season he's really kicked on at United. And it's easy to go, oh, we need him. Remember what he did in that season. But you got to remember, like, what about all the other seasons where he just hasn't been as consistent, and it is a big worry.
Do you think that, like, with some players, and this is kind of what I think about Pogba as well, things aren't going well for him. They're not the type of player who's going to shirk away from it a little bit and shrink a little bit. Yeah. But if everyone else is up to scratch and everyone else is performing really well, then we're going to see the best out of him. Like with Martial, I think he's one of them. I think Pogba is definitely that player. That's why people say, oh, France versus United, how can we be so good for France? Because everyone else is brilliant for France.
Yeah. That's spot on. And like that happens with all good teams. That's why some players, like when United were good, that's why John O'Shea could come in and like Wes Brown, for example, and just look like really good players. They were good players, obviously. They were top players, but they weren't Vidic or Ferdinand. But because of the rest of the quality around them, they can fit in. Do you know what I mean? It helps you. And I think you're right to say that about Martial.
I think sadly we've had a lot of players that are in that same position. When things are good, they've looked really good at Manchester United. I think that there's one or two, but I think Luke Shaw's in that bracket as well. When things aren't going well, I think he kind of goes back. Harry Maguire definitely, when things go bad, goes more defensive and plays further back. Same thing with Scott McTominay. I felt like Marcus Rashford definitely as well. I don't think Bruno as well goes probably the other way. He over-tries.
Yeah.
He tries way too hard and he tries these ridiculous passes and he goes out of position because he's running all over the place. And you kind of need someone in there to go, just calm it down. It's okay. And you hoping that someone like... this is, again, a lot down to the manager. I think Ollie made things all this happy place and happy environment. I don't think the team were coached and managed into a way where if things go wrong, we can get through this. There was never that situation.
Well, do you think we've got enough players at the club then where things are going wrong? Like, I know that this is a classic example, but like Roy Keane, you'd put Roy Keane in a poorly performing Man United team and he'd drag everyone's levels up. Wayne Rooney would do exactly the same thing as well. Do we have any players like that at the minute? I'd say the most like that is Bruno, but last season, obviously, things don't go well, and at times he made it a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, I think, obviously, he came into that Solskjaer team and transformed it. So you are definitely right to say that he's one of those players, but it's so rare to get those players. Brian Robson's a good example. And then United built the team around him, and then Ferguson came in and then built teams that won Premier Leagues after Premier League. So it can happen, but they're so rare to find those players. Do you know what I mean? But we need one. We definitely need one. We just got to hope that one of these guys is one of them.
I don't think City necessarily have that at the minute, but I think that they've got so much quality that they tend not to go through them downtime.
Well, they are. Look at last game of the season.
Yeah.
They've got them players.
Again, they've got the play like Gundogan and people like that that'll drag you through. De Bruyne. Grafters. And De Bruyne, you always know he will bring some kind of quality here, there. And doesn't change his game because of that. But I think the Liverpool team is that team that has so many players that you can rely on Robertson and Van Dijk, whatever the game. You can rely on Salah to do something in those where we've just not had them players. The big question mark as well, as we talked about Martial, where does Ronaldo fit in? And is he that player that can, if Martial doesn't start or drops out the team or whatever, can fill in? Is he going to be, Martial, sit down, I want to start every week again now? Do you think that dynamic changes much and things like that if he does come back into this team?
To be honest, I just don't think he's going to come back. I just think...
Even with the United shorts on the workout picture yesterday, I don't think that was a little bit of a hint of him staying.
Yeah, I did.
Absolutely.
But maybe the fact the United badge wasn't on the side of the United badge was quite telling.
It's subtler than that.
Hey?
He's going to be subtle about it, isn't he? He's not going to put a United shirt on and go, I'm staying.
I don't know. I just think, obviously, what happened with Juve last year, if Ronaldo wants to leave, you can try and hold it off for a while, but in the end, he doesn't want to be there. He'll go.
But the difference last year was there was seemingly like two teams that definitely wanted him. He would have gone to City, and there was United there. Yeah. I don't think that's there anymore. I don't think Juventus are going to get him. Chelsea, I don't think there's no chance United
Tuchel said he doesn't want him,
and Tuchel doesn't want him. PSG, are they going to sign Messi and Ronaldo? I don't think they do that, and I don't think Bayern want him as well. I think that unless Lewandowski goes and they just panic and go, we just have to get someone to score his goals.
Yeah.
I think he might stay here by default because look, he's not gonna go to Saudi Arabia. If all the talk is he wants to play in the Champions League, and he wants. And the other thing is, he's not going to Sporting Lisbon as well. He wants to go to a team that's going to win the Champions League. He wants one last go at doing that. It's not going to be a case of just pick a Champions League team because I've seen someone say Sheriff are in the Champions League. They ain't going to win.
This is what I mean. If he had the choice between playing for a team that are in the Champions League but are never going to win it, or a team that are in the Europa League and have a real chance of winning it, surely he'd rather go for the Europa League team. And would you not think that?
I disagree. I just think playing in the Europa League for Ronaldo is just a no-no. It's a big no-no.
But Sporting, I know he's not going to go Sporting, but let's just say hypothetically he did. What are they going to do? Maybe get out the group stage if they're lucky with him. I don't even know if they've qualified this year. But it's like, surely you'd rather be a team that's going to go far in the Europa League. You wouldn't even. Well, Ronaldo would not play in the group stage
until the final. He'd probably.
No. Yeah, he wouldn't. He'd play if in the quarter-final onwards. He'd play, and that's the way I'm quite happy with it to be as well.
Yeah, but I mean, just because we're in it and we're one of the best teams doesn't mean we're going to win it.
No, we're going to get far though, aren't we? We're going to get last 8.
We'll get out of the group.
Yeah, come on, we're going to get last 8.
We'll get past the round of 32 because there's a round of 32. Oh my god, honestly, it's the problem with the Europa League, and this is it drives you insane is like there is so much work you have to do just to win it. And if you fall at the final hurdle, all of that work means nothing.
I think I'm right in thinking that it has changed, though, hasn't it, in terms of that round of 32 now, the Europa League. It's got the same amount of teams in the Europa, the Champions League, and the Conference League. I think it's if you finish third in your Champions League group that you go into that round of 32 in the Europa League. I
think you can miss a round out if you win your group.
If you win your group, that's it. If you're second in your group, you play. I think.
Really, I don't know.
But I'm not.
Hopefully.
Someone might correct me.
We've got another super chat here from Nick Collins saying, "Hey lads, with PSG apparently looking to offload Herrera this summer, would you take him back at United for some depth in midfield?"
I would. How old is he? Is he
30?
30.
Just heard there.
I'd take him. Yeah, because he wants to be at the club. He's a good player.
Does he though?
He knows the club. Yeah, he didn't want to leave.
I don't know. I loved Herrera.
Why did he leave then?
Wasn't it? No, I just don't think United wanted to sign his contract again, like renew it.
He's 32 now.
Okay.
And there's no point. What does Herrera give?
He was also injured a lot of last season.
A bit of quality.
Herrera, really? Herrera was never that good for United.
Yeah, but he's better than Fred and McTominay.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think he is.
What's Herrera?
I loved Herrera.
What did Herrera win at United? Like he got to win the Europa League, obviously. Well, Fred and McTominay got to the final. It wasn't their fault we lost the penalty shootout.
I mean, yeah, but it was probably their fault that we didn't win the game.
I don't think Herrera levels up that much. If you can get him on a free for decent wages, but he's coming from PSG who are paying him a ridiculous amount, I just think he's not going to take a massive pay cut to come back to United. If he's going to take a pay cut, he'll probably go back to Spain.
Swap deal for Ronaldo. Herrera for Ronaldo.
Cool, great idea. Ross Wilder's got another super chat in here. Ross Wilder's here, looking like a good result this.
Is that Ross Wilder's?
Ross Wilder's.
Nice one, Ross. I know Ross. He's a good lad.
Looking like a good result. There's predictions for Ten Hag's silverware this season. Keep up the great content.
Hopefully something. Hopefully just we win a cup and we can just be like, hooray, we won something.
If we won a cup, I'm running down Market Street with my keks off.
Yeah.
That is...
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Even the League Cup.
Win a trophy, United.
I'd get well up for that.
Too long, man. And you know what, as well? I kind of feel like I maybe didn't appreciate the last one as much as I could have done, the Europa League. I was still very... Because it was the first one and I was still very much we're bigger than the Europa League.
Yeah, literally.
Like, no.
Finally, we qualify for next season's Champions League.
I think,
Don't worry about the trophy.
We appreciated the Van Gaal one because that was the first one since Fergie. I think everyone was a bit buzzing about the FA Cup.
Yeah.
The way
we hadn't won it for years as well.
But then the year after when Jose came in, it was kind of like, we're back to normal. This is just, we win the Carabao Cup or Carling Cup at the time. We just do that. That's normal. Europa League,
We'd never won it before.
We had to win that.
That was a big thing.
Because we'd sacked off the league in order to do it. Big question is, if you had to choose a trophy, it's not the Europa League, so it doesn't get us in Champions League, Carabao Cup or FA Cup, and finish outside the top four, or top four and no trophy. What would you...
Do you know what? Depends
what position are we finishing, fifth or sixth? Or
fifth. We finish fifth, miss out, we win the FA Cup. Louis Van Gaal season, spot on, same. Fifth, we miss out, couple of points, win the FA Cup, but then the other one is we finish comfortably in the top four. We're out the third round in both of the cups. What do we go for?
And we don't. What about the league? Could this be winning the league as well?
No. You're not winning the league.
We
finish first in the top four.
Third, comfortably third.
Third would be big though, wouldn't it?
The thing is, I hate the Europa League. I hate it. I hate those games, those group games against Batty Borisov. Do you know what I mean? I just hate him, so I'd say third.
Batty Borisov.
That's a team.
That's not how you say it.
Sounds like a porn star.
Batty Borisov. I'm sure you say
Let's have a look. People saying FA Cup trophy all day, top four.
How'd you say it then?
Some people are saying, I'm going to move on. I think someone's doing it. Trophy every time. Else, what the fuck are you playing for? Top four and no trophy. Need Champions League next season. So it's kind of mixed bag.
If it was League
through.
Cup and FA Cup, I'd consider it.
Yeah,
but I think we just need to get top four and just hope to
the
build
Europa
on
League
it.
anthem's apparently better than the Champions League anthem.
Oh, it is. It actually is.
Right, let's have a look at the team. Is as we said it, we've got Marcus Rashford as captain of Manchester United for the second half.
Can I just say this about Marcus Rashford? You know, the facial hair and the trim and everything. Do you not think he looks like a 60s Brazilian footballer?
Yes,
The
little moustache.
It's a proper retro look. I think he looks mint.
Off in the second half, 2-1 to Man United as we kick off. Completely different team. You've got Alex Telles in that centre half again, alongside the nutter that is Eric Bailly.
Why does that keep happening? Why does Telles keep being played as a centre
think
half?
Twanzabe's gone home off tour for family issues or something. So Will Fish has come over, I believe, but I think he only got there yesterday. So I think they've been short of centre halves at this moment in time. So Telles, I think Telles has got to be out the door, hasn't he? Because you don't sign Malacia and play Luke Shaw as in your clearly strongest thing and then go.
But you don't.
Maybe Shaw's out the door.
You also don't bring Telles on, do you? Halfway through the game, even if it's to play centre, you don't bring him on surely twice.
But I think at this moment in time it is you're playing 45 minutes and that's it. You're off. I don't think he's going to do it, but who knows? It feels. I did not imagine Telles playing at left centre back alongside Eric Bailly in any game.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it?
Wild.
You never know. He might be starting centre back next season.
Let's have a look.
That's a good game.
We need Dumfries on that right hand side. I think right back is. We need a right back, but I do think it's probably low down in the priority list at this moment in time.
Yeah, I agree.
In terms of getting that done, a few people mentioning trophies. Take any silverware. Blue Music said, take any silverware and parade it around Batty Borisov FC. I'd say I'd say FA Cup if it was against a top team in the Premier League.
Go on, lads.
I'm not sure.
Go on, keep the ball there.
Eric Bailly's going on another mad run.
Yeah.
He needs to get a goal, doesn't he?
Do you not think it would be like...
We're going to score it.
The idea of Ten Hag's first season not being in the top four, if he gets these signings off as well, it's just a little bit concerning for me.
I don't think it is because I think it will take time to adapt. Okay. You know, like look how... If you look at the squad last season, there's so many players in that squad you'd say are not good enough to play for Man United. A lot of them are going to be there again, trying to learn his philosophy. It might take a little while to sink in.
There needs to be, if we don't finish top four, then there needs to be like clear signs on the pitch that it's different and improving. You know what I mean?
But I think it will.
Where we can literally say like, you know what, a couple more players in this team and we maybe have got something.
You need that thing where we've finished fifth, but we've scored 85 goals in the Premier League this season, where it's just been mad season. We've drawn some games 4-4 and stuff.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, look, it's working. If you had a couple of players here and there, solidify it a little bit.
Jeez.
That'll be a bit better. Hello, Medbury not had a kick yet. Neither's Garnacho on pre-season tour. No question marks over their fitness or anything like that. Any worries that they're not going to feature anything like that, or something going on there?
No.
No?
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be sound. They're only kids. Garnacho.
Yeah, really? Garnacho's a kid. The Medbury one's a bit because he was again the one who was getting chances towards the end of last season, isn't he? But again,
what a performance at Anfield!
Just booting people.
Does Ethan Laird play with his shirt tucked in?
Yeah,
that's old school as well. Like that. I want to see more of Zidane as well.
Yeah, he was class in that first game. Adam McCullough getting his press conference question about Zidane over to Ten Hag yesterday.
Saw that.
Was he in the presser?
Yeah, they were in the presser yesterday, and he asked how good Zidane was and other things about the academy players and stuff yesterday. So,
do you reckon they'll let Stretford Paddock in the pressers this season?
Working on it.
Yeah,
go on. Working on it. Let's go through the second half.
They don't even let me in the pressers. On the BBC, they don't let me in.
No, we're going to let Jay Motti in for every single game.
Because you might shout, Sue!
This is the lineup for the second half. Got Tom Heaton in goal, Ethan Laird, Eric Bailly, Telles and Malacia. Iqbal and Savage in midfield. Again, Donny van der Beek in the 10. Chong, Rashford and Ahmad. Ahmad playing as that kind of false 9 again. We are really short up top there, aren't we? Because that's not where you want to see Ahmad playing.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Like Ten Hag, was it yesterday he said that Van der Beek's best position is in the sort of number 10 role. Whereas if we sign Eriksen, that means we're going to have Eriksen and Fernandes arguably ahead of Van der Beek. And like,
do you know what? It was nice for me.
It doesn't make sense.
The amount of comments that we've had on this channel about us not playing Donny van der Beek alongside Scott McTominay and Fred for the last 3 seasons or however long he's been there. And then the manager who's played him his most, his best games under, comes in and goes, yeah, he don't play there. You kind of go,
finally.
Yeah, that's why he's not been playing there. It's not because he's a worse footballer than Freddie McTominay. It's just not, especially in the Premier League, he can't do it. So, yeah, it was nice to hear Ten Hag saying that. People asking, is Roy Keane playing? No, he's not.
I'm surprised.
Go on.
Oh, that's very clever, to be fair. He's trying to do the Ahmad.
Oh, yeah.
When he did that against AC.
Yeah.
Oh, that was naughty.
Let's have a look about this
feels
one.
like ages ago.
A few questions about Christian Eriksen, where he's going to play when he coming. You mentioned there about him in the number 10. Again, I'm a little bit surprised that it's gone so quiet. Not that it's not been done, because I think that United are like with signings and how they announce them and have to get everything spot on, especially for someone, quite high profile like Christian Eriksen. Are you surprised that we've not heard more of him? And where do you think he kind of fits in when he does get in?
Well, I think firstly, if he comes, I think he will be a backup to Bruno. I think we've seen in Bruno's career that there's been at times in his career at United where he's needed to be rested, especially that season when we lost the Europa League final. I think he played like the second most amount of games out of any player in Europe that season. And that's not good for you. And like we were saying again with confidence earlier, when you have a dip in form, sometimes you need to just be taken out the team for a game.
Yeah.
In steps Eriksen, you've got a quality player there who can fill in and do that. And he'll play in cups, and he might even feature in some big games as well. But I think he will be back up to Bruno. But United need that.
And he might be back up to Jadon Sancho as well, in terms of playing a little bit further forward on that right-hand side. He wants... It's clear. I mean, he's got Chong playing there now, but he played Palestra in that other game. I think he wants one of his wingers to be that more technical one, and maybe even another number 10 almost. You play Eriksen alongside Bruno in there, Eriksen and Donny van der Beek in there. You have that, and then you have the likes of Elanga running in behind. You have the likes of that. I think you're going to see that more. And people are forgetting, people going, well, where does he fit? Well, we've lost Mata, Lingard, as well as, they're players that were squad players last season, as well as you've got the likes of, obviously, Pogba's gone and Matic has gone. So not just replacing them in midfield, you've got to replace them squad players. Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, like I said, it's interesting with Van der Beek. Just where's he going to play this season if we sign Eriksen?
Again, he could be the one that's the rotation for Bruno, and Eriksen can fill in elsewhere.
That's it.
I'm never worried about strength in depth when you've got quality players. It's the worry when you've got mediocre players coming in off the bench. And hopefully you've got to manage the squad well, where Ten Hag kind of goes, look, you're going to play now and again, you're going to play now and again.
It's quick, isn't it?
We have had some breaking news. This is from David McDonald in the Mirror, saying that Ronaldo has turned down an offer of £2.24 million a week to join Saudi Arabia. That's £300 million in a year to join a Saudi Arabian club. That's four times.
Newcastle?
Yeah, that's the one. 4 times his current salary. He was never going there, was he? Let's be serious.
Not a
I mean,
chance.
he's got a decent amount of money. He doesn't need... I know that's a scary amount of money, but I just don't think... The level he's at the minute...
He's got enough,
He's got enough to do that. And
do you think he's got enough?
Yeah. Yeah, just about.
Doesn't need though. It was never about money, was it, for him?
No, never.
That's why he was never
Not
going
a
to go to
chance.
the Saudi Arabian club, and if he did, it would have been an insult to United fans. But if he just genuinely leaves for a Champions League club, it's not an insult to United fans, is it? It's just fair enough,
it's
mate.
fair
enough.
I do think
Ronaldo.
PSG is the only option, and the only reason why I think it might be an option is just they get to the point where they just think we have the chance to get Ronaldo and Messi in the same team. Should we just do
It's
it?
the biggest thing in the world, isn't it?
That will make a lot of people happy.
Do you not
a
think
lot
that
of people
there
happy?
is probably more from the Ronaldo side?
What do you mean?
Hesitancy because of that. He doesn't.
Perhaps.
He maybe doesn't want to play with Messi. I'm not saying that he dislikes the guy, but I think he dislikes the guy.
I don't know. I think he'd love to. Well, the thing is, it's not. He's playing at Real Madrid and he gets this option. He's playing at Man United in the Europa League, and he's got this as another option. I think he'd take it over that, surely. But then you've got Neymar, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Messi. Who's getting left out?
Still won't win the Champions League, though.
Yeah, they actually wouldn't. That's what's funny
Still
about it.
not got a midfield.
Who knocked them
You
out?
wouldn't want to be.
Real Madrid.
You would
of
not
course.
want to be a midfielder in that team, would you? Just going, yeah, that front three there, they're doing nothing.
Just give
they're
it
not
them.
tracking back.
Yeah.
I've got, all that running I've got to do. Yeah, I've got to double that because they ain't doing anything.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Messi doesn't run anymore as well, so
No.
there'd be a lot
And
of
to be fair,
walking.
he doesn't really need to. He's still class.
His numbers weren't great this season, though.
I'm liking
compared to
Ethan
Ronaldo.
Laird overhit that cross just a little bit there. But again, same kind of position we're working into, getting that full back in behind on the right hand side. Nice ball from Malacia there. Zidane Iqbal.
Ooh, good feet, unlucky.
I'm really surprised that Tahith Chong is still at Man United. I kind of thought we'd maybe seen the end of him.
I thought he'd have gone before Gomez.
Yeah,
Because they
Gomez.
were kind of at the same time having a few little appearances, weren't they?
Weird thing about Chong is whenever I saw him play for United, everyone goes on about the same thing. He's rapid. He's dead fast. He's dead fast. Never see it.
No?
Never seen it.
Go on, let's have a look now.
Maybe
Well,
it's
he's
off
on
the ball.
He's on the
that
ball, though, isn't
Yeah.
Maybe it's off the ball that they mean it, but I still don't see it then.
No.
he? I'm liking the way they're shifting the ball about. They're not panicking that there's, players behind it. They're just keeping the ball. It's good to see.
Yeah.
Like, we'd have tried a cross by now or something. It would just got headed away. If this was last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree.
But no, it's looking good. And it's looking good that I don't know quite the drop off in the Melbourne team. I don't know whether they've got a rotated squad, but you brought in youngsters into midfield.
Oh!
Nice. Zidane Iqbal there.
Oh,
Good cross as well.
Oh, you sexy little thing.
Great feet.
He's looked very, very good in these last two games. I mean, obviously you've only been 11 minutes second half, but he looks confident. What's Eric Bailly doing?
Look, he's starting
You
his
see
run
him
now.
there?
He's starting his run to the box.
He thought about it, didn't he?
He's mental. He is mental.
Can we just keep him around to play him in pre-season? Because he's all right when you've not got to worry, but
Hey.
when we're playing
Yeah.
in like serious games,
like-
he can't be having this.
It's
He
like-
might just need to be coached well.
No, he needs new knees. That's his thing as well.
He's like Marcus Rojo, I think, where he's not that good, but I'm always going to have a bit of a soft spot for a centre half. He's willing to take a shot on from 50 yards.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
just something about it. Didn't Marcus Rojo never get sent off for United?
Which is frightening.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Juan Mata got sent off for Man United, and Marcus Rojo didn't. The nicest man in the world that I don't think he's ever put a tackle in got
Did
sent
he?
off for United. Yeah.
What
Can't
game
remember
was
what game.
that?
I know it for a fact that Juan Mata.
What did he do?
I'm not sure.
Was it like 2 yellows or?
Yeah, it's 2 yellows.
Oh, okay.
Let's have a look.
That's
Yeah, never going to be a
slightly
straight
more
red for Mata, is it?
for nutting someone.
Yeah, against West Brom, Juan Mata. You got an article here. Juan Mata
Apologises.
apologised
Course
for
he
a red
did.
card. I could have avoided them, and I take this one 2 yellow cards. Definitely, yeah. That's very Juan Mata. Let's have a look at a few more of you guys' comments. Zidane playing like Zidane. He's the best Zidane we've had.
Here he is.
What a pass.
Yeah, what a player. What a man.
God saying the second was for blocking a free kick being taken. So
That's typical, isn't it?
very, yeah. It was never going to be for a bad tackle, was it?
No.
Let's have a look.
Very narrow, isn't it? First half's quite narrow as well.
Few people. Patrick has Big Gaz come on? That's one of the questions in the comments.
Get him on.
Get him
Gaz
on. Ethan Laird. I think the tucked-in shirt is making him look better than he is so far. It's definitely a big thing. But there's definitely opportunity for Ethan Laird to show something in these games, because I don't think you've got any art. There's no real argument for either Delo or Wan-Bissaka that they should start and play every game for Manchester United next season. So if you're going to break into this first team, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, and Ten Hag, he's worked with young players in the Ajax youth system already and brought them into the first team. I think he hinted at that yesterday in the press conference as well, because do you remember when he came and people kept asking, I can't remember what they were asking him, but he was like, I see potential here.
Yeah.
I've had my own take and I see that there's potential. I think he was referring a lot to the academy. So I think there will be players that come in through the youth system that will get favoured over players like Dallo and Telles.
Yeah.
Simple as. Go on.
It's a good ball in there. Disappointing there. Ahmed with a good little touch in the box, but couldn't get a shot away.
Want to go pens if we draw? Probably will as well, wouldn't it?
Probably
We
will.
get a
Yeah.
trophy for this one.
I hope not. I really hope not.
We're getting a big
I hope so.
trophy with
No.
2 fans in it.
That trophy was mad, wasn't
Looked
it?
like a PlayStation.
It had lights and
Yeah,
everything on it.
It did look like a PlayStation on a
Ten
table.
Hag's face in that, where he just looked like, "What is that?" He was definitely not happy. There's nearly 3,000 watching. Can we get up to 1,500 likes? That's 400 likes off you guys. Can we get this done? Let's come on. Next 10 minutes. Let's get that one done.
Yeah, go
Come
on.
on, easy.
Get liking.
Jeffrey Burt said, maybe an unpopular opinion, but Eric Bayer is our best centre-back when fit. Yeah, but he's not been fit since he's been there.
And
He's
I don't
not-
know. Even when he's fit, he has the odd worldie, but he's got a mistake in him,
I
doesn't
just
he?
don't think you can rely on him. I don't think you can have him in your team. You can't say he's going to be part of a team that's going to. He's only going to play 20 games.
Be interesting to see how Varane gets on this season, because it was a very, very strange season. Like, you know, when he came in again, he was one of those players that you thought would take us from finishing second the season before to challenging, and he just was never fit. And then when he was, you know, you could see the quality there, but again, he just was playing with very out of form players, and it brought his quality down a bit, didn't it?
I think the big question last year was like around Ronaldo, like whether Ollie regretted bringing in Ronaldo, and you know whether he even had a say about that. Do you think he regrets not maybe going for a younger centre back in like a Pau Torres, someone that was and almost gamble? Because I felt like when he went for Varane and Ronaldo, this was like, I need to win the league this year, and I'm not getting a midfielder, but I can get these two, and they've won everything in the game, and I'm just going to go for it. And it kind of went away from. It looked like we knew the players he was wanted to get all the way through. You knew that players like Haaland were on that list. Bellingham was probably on that list. You then had Pau Torres, I think, was quite high up on that list. And then he just went away from that and went, going to get these 2 superstars in. I think he regrets Varane as a signing. As much as maybe the Ronaldo one, because I do think that one wasn't his.
I don't know, because obviously Ollie got sacked halfway through the season, and you can't just put that down to being Varane's fault.
No.
So I don't know if he regrets it, but I think the only reason you would regret Varane is the injury side of things. Because, I mean, apparently his injury record wasn't actually that bad at Real Madrid in his last couple of seasons, but it's a bit like Bayern. Bayern very rarely sell a player without there being a reason for it. And I think Real Madrid might have been the same with Varane. They might have seen this coming, that he's going to have injury problems, and they can't rely on him any longer. Hence why they sold him, and we got him for quite cheap. So I think maybe in terms of injury, you could say it was a regret, but we'll see. I think he could have a really good season this year, play loads of games, and almost be like a new signing. It could happen, but it might not. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
He's got some confidence, this Zidane Iqbal. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I don't even think this is...
Obsessed with this guy. I'm obsessed with him.
Because it's not even a position. I think he's played further forward when he's played. He's never usually played in this deep line position. So to go in a completely different position and look this good is impressive.
Is that freaking Jogger Benito, mate?
Just play all the kids this season, 10-0.
Class.
Just do it.
Let's have a look at some of you guys' comments. I think Kelly said, I think Ollie regrets not getting a defensive midfielder. I think Ten Hag will as well.
Yeah, but can you imagine if we
question
signed Declan Rice?
I just
then
think
sacked Ollie.
I just don't think Declan Rice was even. I think West Ham went 150 million, and United have just gone, okay, no, doesn't. And I think that I still think that the priorities, especially with under Woodward, was we want to get our number one target, and we're not going to deviate from that, and we're not going to try an alternative and get other players in the position. And I think
seems the same now with De Jong.
Yeah, that's the only worry.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at a few more of your comments.
Wants to show what you can do at every opportunity.
Yeah. Push him back, lad. Who are these boys?
It's not Nani, I see what I can tell you.
Oh, yeah, get Nani on, for God's sake.
Can you imagine he just didn't come on?
Get Nanny on, and I want to see him shoot at least twice from 40 yards.
Oh, and then do about 6 flips.
He can't. Can he still do a backflip?
Surely.
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 He'll retire the day you can't do that backflip.
Yeah.
Someone's asked here, do you think we'll miss an opportunity not getting Kamara on the free? It's the lad that went to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people rave about him and said
Which
he was,
Kamara is this?
he was the one who played at Marseille last
Is
season.
Boubacar. Is that
Yes.
his name?
Yeah. My thing is, if he's gone on the free and he's ended up at Aston Villa and he's not gone to the likes of Liverpool, and considering, he went from a French team to he's going on the free, and Real Madrid spent 100 million on Tchouaméni. Do you think there's £100 million difference between these two players? And if there's £100 million difference, is he actually that good? That's my worry. Is that if a player ends up at Aston Villa and not at a big club, he can't. These teams don't get it that wrong. Like all the big, like Tottenham passed on him and went for Basuma instead. You've got Liverpool need a midfielder seemingly. They've not gone for him. United need a midfielder. They didn't go for him. I think Arsenal could do the midfielder. They didn't go for him, and he's ended up at Villa. I just think that he can't be that good. There's got to be something. And look, people have said they've watched him and said he looks great, and I can't say I've watched him, but for someone to be free and them go, no, we're not doing that. He can go to Aston Villa and not panic. I just think he can't be that good. And he might.
There's another one like this recently. Is it Hassan? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, he's going. He's going. I don't know, but
he's going somewhere very average.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. It just didn't make any sense to me, kind of thing.
Do you think players coming to England sometimes want to make a step before a big club and prove themselves in England, just like naturally?
Yeah, maybe.
It's a bit like when players go to Dortmund. Haaland, obviously, he could have gone to United straight from Salzburg, but he went to Dortmund.
And maybe this is an agent's thing.
Same
as
with
well.
Bellingham.
Maybe it's an agent's thing as well. The agents are going, if you go to United now on a free, I'm getting nothing because you're going on a free and I can't charge them 10%. But if you go to Aston Villa and we go for 75 million in 2 years' time, I can take fucking 7.5 million in my pocket in agent fees.
It's just
and it might be because I definitely think Haaland did that to Dortmund because he could have gone to United. That's great ball.
Just score.
He's offside. I think that there was definitely that with Haaland. I'm not sure about Bellingham. I think Bellingham was young enough to go, I need I want a challenge first before going. I don't want to be pressured into this situation. But I think Haaland could have gone anywhere when he went to Dortmund. And I think Raiola knew at that time, you go there, we can do a lot of agents' fees and all this kind of stuff. I'll make a lot of money, you'll make a lot of money. You can go to City or whoever you want after that and make a fortune. And I do think that was the case with that one.
Yeah, because if he came to United and, say, for example, didn't play every week and it stuttered his growth as a player, that could well have happened. Yeah. But if he goes to Villa and he knows he's going to play nearly every week, gets himself in that side, cements his spot, becomes one of the best players in the team, he knows his next move is him. Like Rice, for example. Whoever signs, say Chelsea signed Declan Rice, he's going to be playing every week, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what some players are doing now. They're just being a bit more sensible about their own careers. It's good to see.
Yeah. As long as it's the players making the decisions. I don't like owners dictating things. Agents dictating things.
So there's a tweet.
For a minute then, I thought,
A tweet from James Ducker. He's done an article in the Telegraph. United prepared to play long game on De Jong, even if not joined by the time Premier League season starts. So, again, this is going further and further along. He's also mentioned Martinez won't join United squad for end of tour. £233 million 2-year contract for Saudi club Ronaldo. Transfer fee not included, but Ronaldo not ready to leave Europe. So that's three. That's the three big transfer news at this moment in time. Martinez seemingly done, but I don't think you're going to see him on tour. De Jong, still happening. Still going to wait and see kind of thing. I think United have made the point clear to Barcelona, but nothing really happened there. And Ronaldo, he's not going to Saudi Arabia. And I do think that there might be something in the agent thing if they leak this one, the PR spin at the end of this is we didn't want to go. We weren't going anywhere for money. We're going to stay at United and fight. That can be the PR spin if he does end up at United. So I think this.
I tell you what, as well, and I genuinely wouldn't surprise me if this was actually true. The whole reason that he has to leave in the first place is because United had done absolutely nothing to convince him that we're going to be a serious team next season.
Yeah.
You never know. These weeks have passed, and we've brought in Martinez, Eriksson. Probably not De Jong, but maybe De Jong.
Yeah.
He might be looking at it like, well, you know what? You're acting like a serious club again.
Yeah.
Of course I want to stay. If you want to win stuff, I want to win stuff
Yeah.
with you. Ronaldo's ideal situation, obviously United aren't in the Champions League, which is a massive annoyance for him.
Oh my
Eric
God.
Bailly.
See, that's the thing with Bailly.
But his ideal situation is to stay at United this season and win the league with United. That's what he'd love to do, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to hang around and hope to win a League Cup. Like,
Exactly.
come on. It's Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he goes to any team and he'll still score you 25 goals. This is the thing.
I'll also say this, though. If you winning the league with Manchester United, for anyone, is bigger than winning the Champions League for any other club in the world.
At
Like, at the
the
moment.
Especially after the fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Over the last 9 years, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think there's a.
All the context and so like that. Yeah.
But that's not happening. Let's be real.
No, of course not. But this is what I mean when
Leicester
people
come in
say,
the league.
why would someone want to come United? And I understand there's a massive risk when you come Man United, but the reward is colossal. If you are that man that drives United to win another league title for the first time in however long, statue of you outside Old Trafford, you've got a dynasty at the biggest club in the world.
I think you look at how Klopp's regarded at Liverpool now. Him winning them that first title, you can question how much he's actually done for and he's not won enough with how good that squad was the last few years, I don't think. But he's regarded as one of the best ever for Liverpool, and realistically, he's won 2 major trophies for them in his 5 or 6 years. And you're like, imagine if you get someone, if Ten Hag does that for United, wins the Premier League in the next 2 or 3 seasons.
I just think United
ridiculous.
have to just stick by Ten Hag now, no matter how bad it gets. Even if we got to get worse to get better, we just have to stick with him because he's proven he's a top coach. I know he's not proven it at a top club, but he's done it at Ajax.
Good turn from Rashford there.
He's a modern day top coach. We've finally got one. He's a bit like Pep. Do you know what I mean? He's hands on the training ground. He wants to play a modern style of football where you dominate the ball and it's attractive to watch. Like United just have to stick with him now.
Yeah,
they have to do it.
I think
just trust him. Do you know what I mean? It's the first time we've. This is kind of the last type of manager to try post Ferguson. We've tried, the Mourinho style. We've tried like an old possession-based coach in Van Gaal. Tried Moyes, then tried Ollie, and like this is kind of the last one, the modern day guy. Just let him do it. Just give him as much time as he needs. Back him. If we finish 5th again, I know it won't be ideal, but 6th we finished, didn't we? Even yeah, it's bad.
And we shouldn't
stick with him.
6th.
Hey.
Only because West Ham lost on the last day of the season. We did that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh my God! Imagine we got conference.
Been some good away days for
that is
though.
mental, isn't it? Though,
To be honest,
Conference League.
Yeah.
Probably. Wow.
Charlie Savage, a poor ball.
Should have got
out there.
Conference League as well. Is what we did.
Bit stale this second half, hasn't it? I don't think it's been looked as. I think it's obviously more disjointed in the forward areas, and it's just not really looked like either team can score.
Club Penguin again.
Did not expect Club Penguin to be a staple point of today's watch-along, but I'm loving it.
I think we have to allow him to make mistakes as well with transfers. I think
Yeah. Think
it's
about how
going to
many Pep's
happen.
made.
Yeah, he makes mistakes, but they don't just go, "Oh, I know you signed John Stones, but so that's your centre half now." We've still got, Ollie was getting tarnished with that with Mourinho signs. I know we've signed. We're not getting you another one. You've got Bailly and Lindelof there. We spent a lot of money on them, and you're like, give him another one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look there.
I wonder what you can do with Lindelof this year. I wonder if he likes him.
I feel like there's not a good partner for him. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's right.
I just don't think there's anyone that kind of. I think Maguire's probably the best balance, but I just don't think either of them. You can have one slow centre back. You can't have 2.
On the face of it, Maguire and Lindelof should work.
It should,
doesn't.
yeah.
But it should. So it's making me give up on him a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Lindelof and Varane. I think that's just a recipe for I just don't think either of them want to win the ball in the air, want to go out and win a header.
Imagine Lindelof with this Martinez then. So does that mean you're saying it like that then? Do you think that Martinez will only work as a centre half alongside Maguire?
Oh God. Hey,
He's more...
Is that Bailly again?
Yeah.
it's a foul.
I think the thing with Martinez, though, he might not win the headers, but I think it's the fact he is a bit more front foot with everything. He wants to step out and make the tackle, even though it's not him winning the headers alongside, it might not be Maguire, but he'll go out and you watched Varane and Lindelof yesterday, one of them trying to step up. Neither of them wanted to do that against Liverpool. Neither of them wanted to go engage that number 10 or whoever's dropped off.
Yeah, Martinez is a good centre-back.
He wants to do that, and he wants to go make a tackle.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people say it's rash, but I think that's what Ten Hag wants one of his centre-backs to do that all the time. He wants one to be on the backside of someone and really put a tackle in. Which is maybe the question of why Eric Bailly might get a chance, but I just think you've seen in this game, I mean, he was ridiculously good against Liverpool at times, but you've seen in this game he's given the ball away 3 or 4 times and could have just...
And it's not just because it's a friendly, like he does this.
This is what he does. Question, do you think United have a chance to sign Anthony?
Yeah.
Had or have?
Both.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
If we slap 50 million on... Well, what was it that they rejected? Was it 55?
Rejected 50, I think.
Was it 50 they rejected? We'll slap another 60.
More.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Another 60 on top.
60, see what happens. Because, they probably said the same about Martinez, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, they've sold the player of the season for 50 million. Was it Martinez 50? Was it something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I just don't think we'll sign him because if we signed De Jong as well and Martinez, that's quite a lot of money that was spent already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think United will go for a more
Which
low-key option.
By the way, it's so freaking annoying. And this is why we get so annoyed at the Glazers sometimes. There should be no rules around who Man United can sign and how much we can spend this summer. We've made as much money as what is it that we could potentially spend? 200 million ideally.
Yeah.
We made 200 million off Park Ji-sung action figures in 2007. We can spend that like it's nothing, mate.
Yeah. I know. And
we should just be able to go out and do it. And I think that there's always the balance of...
It's criminal.
Don't go and get ripped off in the transfer market and spend... I respect us a little bit for not just going, we'll pay for De Jong's deferred wages. I kind of get that because you need to not... You can't make the Harry Maguire mistake, which is spend so much money where the fee is so big that he gets questioned every time he misplaces a pass. But there shouldn't be a thing of, we can't sign another £50 million player. We've just not got the money. That's the thing that's frustrating. It's not like it's not like we're not making 4 world record breaking transfers this summer. Just signing 4 in this transfer market average costing players. We should just go out and get them in some way. Yes, we've got to get the right price for them, but it looks like we're not even going to entertain the Anthony thing because it's another 50, 60 million pound player and look for another player.
Well, I'd rather us get like a right back, to be fair, than a player like Anthony.
Yeah.
It depends. Just depends with what happens to Ronaldo. Doesn't
Here
it?
he goes again.
Goes.
It's a great through ball from Bailly.
Yeah.
What a player.
Good finish that.
Great finish from Rashford.
He did well to control the pass as well.
He did.
Brilliant.
He
quite
needed
a lot of
that
pace on it.
He needed that Marcus Rashford, I think, after the first game, especially seeing Sancho and Martial getting on the score sheet.
Yeah,
you want to see
goal.
Rashford on there. And really good goal. Eric Bailly doing mad Eric Bailly things again.
Look at this.
Stepping out of defence.
Go on. Yeah,
great
that
pass.
easy.
Great control.
That pass is
And
always
then a good
on
goal.
as well.
Really well played from
Great
Rashford.
finish from Marcus Rashford. 3-1. See, there was no panic in this game, was there? No, but hopefully no penalty shootout. I think that might have
just do one
taken.
anyway.
We can't be having
Managers
that.
take them.
Give us a cup.
Yeah.
What, another cup?
Give us
Imagine we come home and they've done 6 pre-season games, a cup for every single one of them.
Right, here's a question.
Ten Hag said we
cup-
won 9 trophies this year this season.
We won the octuple this season.
Like that cup that we won last week. Where does that go?
Yeah,
Where does it go?
I was thinking this.
Where do they store that? Surely not at
in Bangkok. That's not got on the plane.
I agree.
Do you know the
Ten Hag's
players
gone.
are on it?
That
on
is
the
not
plane
coming with
getting
us.
photos with it.
No
I think it'll stay in Bangkok.
Yeah, it must do.
Because
Maybe
I have a feeling that in 2 years' time that match gets played in the same stadium, exactly the same again, same kind of weekend.
They'll have Manchester United engraved into the trophy.
Yeah, I think
For
tonight
next year.
Liverpool is.
Don't think they
is the
bothered
thing.
with the engraving, probably.
People saying, why was he giving Eric Bailly stick? Right, let's just calm down a little bit. Yes, he's done a little step and passed through. He nearly conceded
missed the
3
ball
goals.
and just passed
he
it to their
missed the
striker.
ball. I like Eric, but this is the problem with Eric Bailly, is that number one, he does this. I seen someone say the other day, he's the only player that makes football look so easy and so difficult all in the same
Go
game.
on.
Oh, Marcus Rashford.
Oh, unlucky.
So easy and so difficult in the same motion half the time. And most of the time he's correcting his own faults. And also, he just gets injured too often.
Uh-oh. Challenge.
Clearance. The lucky shuttlecock, again, keeping us through. It's staying up there all season now. That's it.
Keep it there.
Yeah.
Been quite impressed though by him pre-season so far.
Scoring a lot of goals so far, which is good to see. People saying, speaking about Anthony, he's actually as good as Rafinha, if not better.
Oh.
Really? Okay.
You know,
He's a great player.
What worries me is and I understand there's more to football than numbers, but the numbers he was putting in the Eredivisie for a very successful Ajax side weren't great.
No.
They weren't last year. I don't know him exactly to head, but
Shall I get him up?
yeah, get him up. But
It's
they
tough
weren't
'cause-
they weren't that
yeah,
impressive.
you're
I
right.
thought.
I don't like.
I
looking
think
at just
he
numbers.
was in. I think he was in double figures for assists, but get him up though.
Yeah.
Wasn't
People
bad.
saying Bayer is a backup CDM. No. Let's
Yeah.
calm the fuck down a
Number
bit.
6. If we don't sign De Jong, just play him in the number 6.
Jesus.
Arrive late to the box.
Danny Schiller says Bayer is a lunatic made of wet cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's good to have around, and he's probably good as your 4th or 5th choice centre back, but you can't be relying on him to play every week.
You got 12 goals, 10 assists in all competitions.
It's not great, I don't think.
No.
I mean, we'd have taken that last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't win the league.
I
That's
just
the other
kinda- yeah,
thing,
exactly.
They
I
won
just
the
went
league.
Yeah, you're
in.
right.
They were how many goals? Like, fucking
They scored a lot of
ridiculous.
goals, and I'm not too sure about that. Let's have a look.
Just got to trust the manager. You just got to trust him. He'll work something out. He knows what he's doing this one. I'm not saying the other ones didn't, but do you know what I mean?
Well, he's kept it in.
Go on.
Go on, lad.
Shoot.
Well played,
Oh,
Malacia. Well played, mate.
Good cross in that. I think we'd have left that for Chong though.
Yeah, I've got more on the header.
But no, again, good football. This mentioned this in the last game. You kind of want to see a couple of these players dropped into like the starting 11 kind of mold now, don't you? You want to see can Zidane play alongside a Fred or someone in midfield
yeah.
and do that?
Yeah.
Can Malacia play in the normal back four? Same thing with Ethan Laird probably now. Can they kind of drop in there and not look out of place? Because it's one of them. There's been players look good in fits and starts here, but they're not. They're in a bit of a weird team at this moment in time.
Yeah.
The first half looked better because it was our strongest team. But hopefully you can see that. Let's have another
Plenty of
super chat
games
here.
though, isn't there?
It's quite mad here. I've just Why do you leave it to the goalkeeper, you mentalist?
Because it's Bailly.
Chest it and boot it.
I hate.
Go on. What were you going to say, guys?
Just out of curiosity, then I got up the Eredivisie table from last season, and it's weird that Ajax only won the league by 2 points in the end because the goal difference was 79, and PSV's goal difference second was 44,
That just shows
and
the
they only
difference
won
in
the league by 2 points.
That's mad.
They were just
Ridiculous.
dominating games that they won. Every game they won, they were just dominating.
They lost the cup final, didn't they? To
Was it PSV?
Don't think-
it was final.
I thought it was someone like Feyenoord, I think.
I think they were 2-0 up or something and lost it. But yeah, it just shows that it is a competitive league. The standard is just competitive in the sense that, you know, there are other big names in there. Feyenoord and PSV are big names.
Yeah.
Get some really good youngsters coming out of that league, though.
Yeah.
You do, yeah. Like it's
I
more
still-
competitive than Germany.
Yeah, I'd still say that the German league is probably the most sort of similar Oh, to the Premier League in terms of how they play, not quality, like how they play.
No, I'd say it's
Okay.
Spain.
Would you?
I'd say Germany's not as physical as you think. Hence why people who come from the Bundesliga to England struggle in their first season.
Yeah.
I think that thing that we looked at, it was saying that La Liga to England has the best crossover.
Right.
Which makes sense.
I think especially how England's gone more possession based, kind of over the last sort of 10 years.
What do we make of Donny van der Beek? Because there's a couple of comments here saying he's almost been non-existent in the
he's done
second
much.
half, and we've got 5 minutes to go now, and I just don't remember even touching the ball. It just
Here
doesn't-
he is.
And I don't know whether
Hey!
Nani's coming on for Melbourne.
Nani, don't like it. Wilfred Zaha. I really wish that chance had chance to become a thing, but it didn't.
Van der Beek. The thing with Van der Beek is like I know he hasn't had many starts, but he's had a lot of game time. He's always been a bit like this, where he's not like been bad, but he's just been like he just hasn't got involved.
He just doesn't.
I don't know what he does, mate.
Exactly.
Doesn't impose himself on the. He doesn't seem to impose himself on the game enough for me. Like Bruno's frustrating at times, but you always know Bruno's there, don't you? He's always trying something.
Nice.
It's not the case with Donny van der Beek.
This is so
Sharp
fun.
there.
This is watching Zidane is so fun.
He's
Yeah.
very skillful, isn't he?
But he's doing it in the right areas as well. He's not making daft mistakes with it as well, which is
No.
good to see.
I think he's only give the ball away once in
Yeah.
the second half that I've counted, and it wasn't like a bad bit of play.
See that Donny.
Look at this.
Oh, good football. Go on.
Oh, could go anywhere. Get at your feet.
Really good play.
Really good football, that.
These youngsters look all right. The kids are all right, lads. New class and
And then I think winning it back as well, high up. That's what you want to see, and not getting counter-attacked on.
Going to be an interesting season for us, I
Go on,
think.
Malasia.
That was very positive.
Knew he
looking.
was going to shoot it.
Got a super chat here from Potato Allianz. Yeah. That's what it is, isn't it? Most of our players are good to have around, but are hardly good enough to compete with the other teams. Harsh, but
Sorry, what was that?
most of our players are good to have around, but are hardly good enough to compete with the other teams. I think we've got one or two many squad players that are starting games week in, week out. I think for United, and I think that's been the case for a while.
Thing is, that was like players like Mata, though, wasn't it? Like everyone always said, it's good to have him round,
Yeah.
but like, do you know what I mean? Where'd you draw the line?
Yeah.
And he's gone now. So you want to see him get replaced with players who you actually want in the team.
There's a report coming here, by the way, just a report from Gerard Romero, saying that Barcelona have agreed on a price for Bernardo Silva, and that's believed to be the Frenkie de Jong replacement.
They have to get rid of De Jong though
yeah.
to sign Bernardo Silva. I'm guessing. Just think it's
That'd be
mental.
interesting.
Also, just on Bernardo Silva, that's an interesting point. We're talking about not wanting Frenkie de Jong because he doesn't want to come to United. Well, Bernardo Silva wanted to leave City last summer, and he was probably their player of the season
Yeah.
last
I know,
season.
but City are winning the league. Do you know
It
what I
doesn't,
mean?
but at the same
Doesn't
time,
matter as much.
player of the season when you were leaving is a big step up. That's a big difference between the two.
Ronaldo did it. I know it's Ronaldo. I'm not comparing Ronaldo at United to Bernardo Silva, but I just think if you don't want to be at a club, but you're winning everything, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much. It's when you're not winning.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I just think it's mental that Barcelona are still signing players when they owe PK like 50 million. They owe De Jong 16
And
million.
to be fair, I think they actually owe Shakira that 50 million.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It is Barcelona is mad how they've done it all. I think that Spotify deal has saved them big time in terms of what they've done there. But
Yeah,
to be in that one, and
Man,
it's all Messi's fault as well. Like, it's
Messi's
It
fault.
is. The thing is, they didn't bite the bullet with Messi early enough. They should have just gone, right, we know you're worth $1 million a week, but this is not sustainable. And it gets to a point where we end up paying people like Frankie de Jong 470 grand a week at 21 years old because Well, Messi's on double that, so surely I'm worth that.
This is really good to watch.
It's good.
Look at this.
Get in.
That's a
Yeah.
great. It's an own goal in the end, but it's a great goal. The build up.
Really good football.
If
Really
he
good
wasn't
football
there,
from
someone
United.
would have knocked it in.
4 goals, 8 goals,
There
2
you
games.
go. 8
Come
goals,
on.
2 games.
8-1, winning the league us.
Yeah, definitely.
Defo.
He's going to cut to Jay Motti.
So was that Jay?
Swinging his shirt around.
How funny would it be like
Cola,
if we just
wouldn't it?
cut to Jay and Adam and they're going mental, like mental.
Good football, worked all the way across. Chong, great ball in. Yeah, Donny van der Beek's got a tap in if not.
What did that go
He's
in on?
gutted, isn't he?
Hang on a minute. All right, okay.
Lucky
There's
shuttlecock.
nothing he could have done.
I was
Lucky
gonna
shuttlecock.
say-
Goes again.
He's got it off the shuttlecock. He's actually back-heeled that in.
Yeah.
It's quite a finish.
It's weird
Great.
watching United play someone when you just don't know any of the opposition.
None of them.
Apart from Nani.
whatsoever. It's a lot of Premier League teams next. So I think the next game is Crystal Palace, and then Aston Villa is next week, and then we've got.
Go on.
Oh, he's going to get another
Go
one.
on.
Oh, he won the ball, to be fair.
Jesus.
Could have killed him. Then
Come on, need to see a Nani shot before the end of the game.
Just give it Nani.
just let him touch
shoot.
the ball.
Is our Nani there? Like,
I think
furthest forward?
Yeah.
Sorry, you said we've got Palace, then Villa.
Yeah, but then there's a week off, and then we've got Atletico and Rayo Vallecano
Oh.
within 2 days.
Yeah, I'm going to the Vallecano match.
Isn't that back at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
I'm going to the Atletico game in Oslo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you actually
I'm excited.
Yeah,
That's
buzzing
gonna be
about
well
that.
fun.
That'll be
'Cause
amazing.
I'm doing a trip over to Sweden and stuff for a wedding, and then just staying out there and going over to Oslo.
Lovely.
And yeah, me and I think Jay's going as well.
That's going to be class, mate.
I'm really looking forward to that. That game, especially if we get a couple of signs as well, and it's like
Yeah.
full strength United team there. My worry is that they're going to save the full strength team for the day after when they play at Old Trafford, but you're not going to play a weakened team too much against Atletico Madrid, are you?
Might be the other way around, mate.
Yeah,
they might
probably
be
will
the weaker side that they take.
Yeah.
To Old Trafford. Interesting.
Charlie Savage, go on, lad. Again, he's not shown too much, Charlie Savage, but playing in that position, not noticing him is a good thing. You know, the amount of times we notice Freddie McTominay because they've given the ball away 30 times, I feel like is the reason. But Charlie Savage has had 2 games there where he's not looked out of place. So
He's not looked out of place in some respects,
Yeah.
but I do think you can see the pure quality that a player like Zidane Iqbal
oh
has to
yeah,
offer.
absolutely.
And even like the decision making, like the way he's scanning the pitch
Yeah.
and everything, he is a level above, I think, a player like Savage.
Yeah,
But I think he'll have a good career though, Savage.
Definitely.
He's
But
not going to be at United, I don't think. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think either of them want to play there either. So I think that this is, they kind of both want to play a little bit further forward and want someone alongside them, which seems to be the case of every midfielder that we have at the football club at the minute. So, and at the moment, they're not getting in over Bruno in that position. And I think that Fred probably gives you more physically wise at the moment. So, but no, I think maybe a loan for one of those two next season to go and see what they can do elsewhere. There's reports about that Alvaro Fernandez, the left back, going on loan. Loads of championship teams want him, but I think he's trying to get a...
Oh, what ball?
Go on, great ball.
I think he's off.
He's not give it offside.
Great! Oh, it's clever. I've seen
Great
that
ball.
about Fernandez. He wants a Premiership move, doesn't he?
Fair play. A bit of confidence.
I was going to say it's a bit confident that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, he was great in the youth cup last season, but let's go to the Championship,
Yeah.
mate. You're a fullback. You know what I mean?
There it is, full time.
Happy
Manchester
days.
United win 4-1, another 4 goals. That is going to be all from us in the watch song. We will have a live review, which I believe is all sorted. We'll have a live review. That comment will either be in here or it will be on the channel very, very shortly. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes for that. Going through that game. Thank you very much, Gaz, for joining me. Thank you very much,
Mate.
Dre.
Pleasure.
4-1, another good performance for Manchester
Come
United.
on.
Thanks very much for watching. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you're subscribing for all the other stuff we'll have on the channel. And let's see you in the next one. Laters.